get that taken care of. Use that Bitcoin. So let's see a better signal. Maybe it was just my garbage internet down to the last of them. So I know we're getting interruption, but thank you, Father, for all things. Thank you for the blessing of the gospel, the ministry, Shiloh, all things good and bad. So he said, come out of her, my people. Her. Who's her? Who is her? What is her? I wonder if anybody can answer that question. If we can get them in there. See if we can get somebody in here and answer. What is her? He said, come out of her, my people. So who is her? That is that's the question. So is that the woman? The woman be given the wings of an angel? Is that the same her? Which her is that? So all right, well, we're not skipping out. Maybe we get a little bit better internet if we don't got the Bitcoin out of the Cash App and was able to get it paid. So that wasn't super difficult. That was actually pretty simple. Should have done that all along. Shouldn't have worried about that. That's okay. It is what it is. Got her done. Thank you, Father, for the ability to continue the gospel. And that's more important than anything on this rock. And your gospel is the word. So, all right, come on. There we go. And the puppy's going to try to come right through there and knock that over. So, again, he said, come out of her. What is her? Who's her? What is her? What does that mean to you? What does come out of her, my people, mean? Agape is hitting the live stream. Exactly that. The broadcast here at HD. Not for obviously what you see, but what the content of what you hear. So, you know what that means? Come out of her, my people. Who's my people? He says, my people shall perish for lack of knowledge. Abyss is the word knowledge. Abyss is the word hell. Hell is no knowledge. So, who is the her? Yep, and so are you. Goodbye. So, who is her? Anyone? Bueller? Yeah, see, HD for the call. Right, see? How's that better? You like that? We just wanted me to talk to you. You don't have to worry about the quality. We can do this. Is that better? Hey, how's my camera quality now? Maybe we'll just run the show like that from now on. Bubba, like the shrimp company. What's going on, man? That's just a movie. I'm just kidding. We're live, but people are too caring about what they see. How about what you hear? Come out of her, people. So. 1G. No, it's 2G. 2G phone here. So we don't want a weaponized phone. But hey, at least it's holding. It wasn't holding there for a while. So that's because I was down to the end of my contract there, but we got her back up. So hallelujah. Thank you, Father, for the blessing of this broadcast here to be able to sow seeds, hopefully upon fertile ground, not on rocky ground, right? So he is the rock. He is the Petra. He is the one that he's the snare. How about that? Came in head first. You're gonna leave out of here feet first. So he's the snare, right? You ever heard that? The snare that lifts us out of here, gets us by our feet. See if we leave our treasure here. If it's securely fastened, can we get to that higher place, not in the sky, not above our head? But because he is the head. Remember, we are the body. What are you steering the ship there, Captain? She's breaking up, Captain. Like Captain Kirk. Remember, he's a little too far leaning to the right, and then they ended up leaning to the left. So we'll have none of that nonsense in here either. Talk about that stupid PDF file supporter. I don't care about none of that Hollywood nonsense. Like America, that makes no sense. Not my country, not my. It's the rights of these people are gone. Constitutional Republic is long gone. No mas. So, what's your war plan since it's a Department of War now? War doesn't decide who's right, it decides who's left. So, you're going to be left out, or you get left out of history because you didn't write where the victor gets the spoils. You're going to have to endure the end. If you want your hand held raised in victory, you got to finish the strongest. So, you got to die to be saved. Remember that. No such thing as being saved. Don't fall for that religious nonsense. Sozo. Carry picked up from beginning point to an ending point and healed. So he'll right all the wrongs, all the pain that he put you through. That you suffer, he will heal. But not till after you die. So if you want to be saved, you got to endure like a marathon. So how about that? How about that? Yeah, they can't accept Jesus. Stupid, idiot, religious Christians. Accept Jesus. You can't accept Jesus. Which one? You're transgender, cracker Jesus. So, people are idiots. No such thing as accepting Jesus. I know. What a bunch of idiots, huh? That's what religion does. It dumbs them down. Like America, freedom, dum dum dum. Probably Jada's probably from America too, huh? Dum 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 dum. The right to speak up, but most people, don't speak swine talk out unless they're out of America. But we got their IP address. We know where they're at. So does the government. So we can 5 guys in a van just come pick you up and take you out to the woods and waterboard you if you just piss somebody off here in America now. Nope, just dudes with masks, just kidnapping people right off the street. So careful what you say to people, man. How come maybe you were an asshole to somebody in school or something when you grew up? Maybe you said no to somebody at prom or something. Now they can come get you. Careful what you say. You got an IP address. You can get tracked and traced. They know where you're at. People are idiots. They say the just darndest things, don't they? Spoken, remember? The words spoken into existence. He creates most people to go to hell. Vessels of wrath fitted for destruction from the foundation of the world. All the Christians that think they can accept Christ are going to hell. Because I don't even know where hell's at. Hell's not even below their feet. Neither is earth. That's what happens when you believe in a ball god or, booby Jesus. Well, balls, breast, and horns. Hoof, horn, and beast. Man, beast, and woman. That's what it is, right? A 3-in-1 God. 3-in-1. Check that out. Check this out. Yeah, I didn't learn nothing. Just falling on deaf ears. Yeah, I don't know. I'll get rid of them. Hold on. They're an idiot. That's the Matrix. It's called the Matrix. People think they live in the Matrix. The Matrix is the woman's vagina, as he said. Another word, but people are idiots. They think they live in the Matrix. We have slipped the Matrix here. We're not children living in the darkness, works of darkness. We're in the light. Welcome to the light. Can't accept Jesus. Don't worry about it. He didn't know what he was talking about there. Booter? What does that say? Shooter, wooter, booter. No, stop. You. Hey, listen, Charlie was leaning a little bit too far to the right and ended up leaning to the left. Huh? Shut up, you idiot. We all know it's a scam. Get out of here. You idiot, child, you mockingbird, parrot media. That's got everybody squawking like I don't speak bird. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Please don't cheap. Come and see me. Want to listen to some B.O.B. But you don't know nothing about that either, do you? Hey, go see. I didn't watch Enter the Stars. He did a decode on it. I bet you his decode is the best decode out there on the net. He's the best decoder, hands down. So go see Casey's decode at Enter the Stars here on YouTube. The dual Jew spitting snake venom, two tube, two hollow needle. Welcome to the Jew tube. So, anyways, they're quite, they do their svasti rituals. So, the ritual of the sun god birthed in the middle of the winter. So, they're towers, not Eiffel or Leaning, but remember, Babylonian. So, nobody can answer my question. What does it say when it says, come out of her? Who is her? Who is her? Who is her? Come out of my people. Do not partake in unfruitful works of darkness. Circumcise the outer man, flesh cut it off. Rebuke them with light. Put the light at your top of your house and let it shine. You know the word? Is it written on your heart? It's only written on the hearts of the bride. Remember, they're not under the law. They're on a covenant, a new, not an Old Testament that was blotted out. No mandates. I'll go on dates with men. Remember? Ordinances. Mandates, ordinances, or codes, or statutes. If they're statutes, they have to be the revised statutes adjudicated through the House, Congress, and Senate. Otherwise, it's repugnant. How about that? You know anything about the constitutional right of the land, the organic natural law, the right to travel freely, unabated, without warrantless search or seizure? This ain't King's land, right? Serfdom. Oh, we got the king now, Mr. Warp Speed, remember? Revelation 3:11, he says, let no one take your crown. Kings wear crowns, right? So, ooh, who's your master? Thank you, Father, for this blessing. Got to have it on your heart. You got to reveal it, right? Through seeking it, and he'll sup. Seek, ask, sup, knock, right? Seeking you shall find, asking you shall receive, knock, and I will come sup with you. So we know you're a bot. You're a bot. You're a bot. Get out of here, bot. Get out of here. You're an EpiPen Island girl, cat, 9 lives. Somebody sprung on the cat, one-eyed cat. Go stick your face up somebody else's one-eyed cat. 2 cheeks to the same hole, 2 wings to the same dragon. Get out of here. A little left lean in there. That's what happens when you mess with these PDF files, huh? Oh, Charlie's got us surrounded. Captain Kirk Warp Speed. Lean a little bit too far to the right. Nope, I got a little too far to the left now, huh? People, those fall for the mockingbird. Media, they're parrots and they're bots too, so they're sending this out. It's a test to your faith. Remember, that's always been faith is, without works is dead. Maranatha till I return, believe in me. It is an action, it's a verb. So, yeah, it's not to sit down and just sit on your ass and get plugged by in the neck kind of deal, talking out the side of your neck, whatever that silly nonsense they got going on there. Charlie's got us surrounded. Man, those aren't petties. Those are just Chicanos, man. So you wouldn't know nothing about that. But all right. Moving on. So what's your opinion on her as everybody's worried about Charlie? What, brown? Listen here, Snoopy. I'm the big dog up in here. Okay. You're a goat or a wolf. You're out of here. I don't sup with vipers or snakes. Remember, said you knew I was a snake before you let me in, and then he let Joe Biden in. See, told you the 2 Jews spitting snake oil. Charlie, uh-oh. How do you know about Charlie, Chris? Charlie Hell's Angel, Charlie? That's a 1%, remember, Hell's Angel? How do you know about Charlie? Oh, that's not the same Charlie. Charlie and Ralph, California. California, like Cali, you got like going back to Cali. Oh, so. Yeah, we'll split the wig here, right? They split them right. Remember, he's leaning a little bit too far to the right, and lean him over to the left. See how that works? Yeah, that'll get you for messing around with them PDF files, huh? When your best friend's a PDF file, brought to you by Elon Musk. Oh wait, no, it was EpiPen Island. That was his best buddy, right? Yeah, that's what it said on the dark web forever, man. All right. Decades. Decami. Let me see your decami. Dos decami. Nope, it's a stick up. Everybody get their hands up. Let me see your decami. All right. Oh, what are you talking about? If a man walks into a gun, right? That's a gun. How could a man? Is it a man who controls the gun, or is the gun controls the man? Kind of an odd statement, don't you think? Oh, let's ban automobiles too while we're at it. Oh, that's all right. They're going to put you in the rusty dust pants or street sweepers, maybe train cars. We don't need no education. Yeah, this all a scam. There's nobody got shot. It's a bunch of it's a bunch of idiocracy. Shot like a crisis actor. How about that? But people don't do any research. Like I said, yeah, and how many people die by handgun? Or to see there people or more people die by. I speak to dead people. Ghost is the word Hokadesh. Okay, yes, I speak to Father. You're right. The stars speak to me. The walls talk to me. All kinds of different things. I'm kind of a different character. I'm not from this realm, time, place, space that you guys. Not 2025. You're just an idiot. So these people think they know what time it is. Hell, they don't even know what year it is. Hell, that's not a place. Hell is no knowledge. But anyways, remember Cali, the king, going back to Cali. I don't think so. But yes, automobiles, autonomous driven. How many of these self-driven cars are already wrecking into people? Maybe it'd be like that. Obama would be. They'll all just meet up in one place. They'll have a gang bang, but it'll be with electric vehicles or something or whatever they were doing. Bang bang bang. The orgy ritual, rusty dustpan. Mr. Muscarat, remember him and his buddy Warp Speed. Ho ho ho. You don't know where the hose are at? Ask Santa. He knows where all the hoses are at. So infidel motorcycle club. Oh, what do you know about a club? All up in the club. What am I like? What club? You mean the big boy club, like the Pharisees? They had a big boy club too. It's called one percenters. 1%, like set apart. 3-piece chevron rocker. You gotta know what. So, want to know who really has the top club? Oh well, it'll be Mr. Wide Bill Gates that leads to the Pete. Oh, what? Hold on, it's Pedo. Oh, it's Pedo Gates. No, it's Kill Bill that leads to the Pete. Oh, to the Pizza Gate. I thought it said Pedo Gate. Pizza Gate. Remember Pizza Gate? Oh, got him, got him. Boom! I got him. I'm on him. I've been on him for decades. Decami, remember? Many Decami. So it's okay. They're idiots. Remember? They don't remember. They have to remember. They have to remember, and then they forgot. Like, hey man, what? He's like, what? But and that's all right. They're frontal lobotomy. The whole injection. They got the well, like well, inserted. Like a ram, ram it in you. So like to force this upon people without them knowing it. So they do it by algor rhythm. It's a dancer, right? Yes, we have not forgotten about EpiPen Island. Island boys. Remember, they're all island boys. They go to the Hollywood parties and have their ditty party. Who do you think paid for all that bath oil? Damn, was a big ass bed one in Hollywood. A lot of pedos in Hollywood, isn't there? Yeah, PDF files as the president, last three presidents, we know that for sure, right? And everybody's like, yeah, Trump 2028. Like, whoa. Oh my God. We have reached the bottom of society. Shut up. Get out of here. They're all PDF files, and so are you if you support them or you're a supporter of a PDF file. So get out of here. We don't have anybody in here that supports the PDF file system. Get out of here. Disgusting. 3 buildings with 2 airplanes, and they're still touching kids. Get out of here, BC. What are you, DC? District of Criminals are always broadcasting crap. Broadcasting crap. Get out of here. Get out of here, BC. Yeah. BC. Yeah. How about ABC? Always broadcasting crap. Get out of here. Don't say anything else, or I'll fire you out of here like a number 10 socket. Gets lost. You too, there. We don't support anybody who supports PDF files. So stop it. Your algorithm is not going to work in here against us. You can spark up all your whatever nonsense. We already know. We've done the research. His wife even said he's still alive. Are you fucking stupid? Go watch. His wife said he was alive, guys. I mean, even, oh, I know he's still here. I know he's still here. They just put this right in front of your face. Did you see the recent Twitter? She's down there on his body or something. Oh, doing all this nonsense. People do about this much research. You know what I'm saying? In the first 6 hours, already decoded the whole thing. So. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Remember all this underground Pizzagate and all this, we're going to drain the swamp and, all this and lock her up. I'm a special investigation. Nothing ever came of that, huh? Slam the hopium and drink the Kool-Aid. That's what people did. I hate to break it to you. You are the swamp. But anyways, remember? Swamp like Shrek, remember? Donkey, you're an ass. But, it's like layers of onions. He just keeps going and going, huh? But that's all right. He said cut it off. Remember, circumcised like an onion, Shrek, donkey, ass. Well, no, the flesh. Don't be an idiot. These people are foolish, man. I'm telling you. Spun, twisted, warped, fooled. I don't know, like Joker, 2 cards in a deck. Like look over here, don't look over here. Kind of a Hegelian dialect kind of a thing. Oh wait, that's problem, reaction, solution. Right. Same thing, pretty much. Remember the COVID deal, the whole stand on the X, go inside, flatten the curve. Fear, all that fear. They fear a virus, not even alive, and now they're going to send robots out of the sky and from above, below, and put them in bubble domes. Remember, they're in bubble trouble. They got a bad social digital blockchain credit score. Communism, digital blockchain communism, but nobody else talking about it. We talk about things here, nobody else talking about it. I mean, some people are getting it, but they're not quite over the target. They're missing, popping shots, and they're like, I'm going to pop some tags. No, never mind. Well, maybe some foot tags, maybe on your, kick your dog tag right in your roof of your mouth. But let's not talk about that. We don't need to talk about war. There's no war going on. Everything's awesome, Team America. The government loves you. Come on in and accept Christ for only free 99 today. And you can set it on a shelf. And you can believe and forget about it. You can accept Christ today and you can believe for only free 99. You can put your money in the basket, silly rabbit. Remember, I'll do some magic tricks in here. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Ooh, gee, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my ass. Oh, my bad. I meant hat. I said ass. That's like a donkey. Remember Shrek, the mule? Somebody stubborn, can't learn. So they say our info is free. But this ain't definitely tax. Yeah, Hamas, we got them in the streets right now, remember? ISIS, ICE apostrophe S, men in face masks just kidnapping people for being too poor and having a mental disability in America. So now it's illegal to be poor. And if you resist, they'll throw you in a cage, a rape cage, remember, or a cage with the no victim. How's a victim for being, how could they throw you in a cage for being poor? We had 1,000 military bases in all 180 countries. We got a $1 trillion military budget. That's more than all the other countries combined. Maybe that's why the people are so poor. So, you know what I'm saying? This is stupid, huh? Look at how much it is, bro. It's just, as I'm telling you, it's the algo. These people are stuck on dumb. They've got this left-right paradigm on these people, and they've got them in a stranglehold. It's like this whole nation, it's had everybody on a stranglehold for over 50 years by oil. And now it's all, nobody cares about anything else. I guess everybody stopped talking about EpiPen Island. Now they're only talk about, the guy was a little too far right leaning, and then he started leaning left. Captain Kirk, Charlie's got us surrounded. What a bunch of idiots, you know what I'm saying? And you can see it, guys. There's too many of this pushed out in the algorithm now. They want you to, they want you to see this. That's called a mockingbird meeting. You know what continuity of government is? They're only going to put out what Mockingbird. How about Operation Mockingbird? Like always broadcasting crap and MSLSD and all the other faux or Fox, whatever you want to call news, all these lamestream media, whatever. It's not fake. Donald's fake. Don't call it that or I'll smash you in here. Like you're never going to find Donald Trump saying creepy Joe Biden because he's a creep himself, obviously. PDF file in chief, whatever. Sure, his asshole's pretty loose, might be queef, but never mind. He might have sex change. Who knows? I don't care. It doesn't matter. Jimmy Crackhorn's mind over matter. I don't mind, and you don't matter to me, so don't worry about it. It's just a matter of time. Time is illusion, and so is death, but that's okay. It's a doorway, and so is time, but you don't understand time. You're only here for a certain amount of time, place, and space, right? So get out of my space. See you later. Hasta la bye-bye. I'll be back. Don't worry, John Connor or Sarah. Like, oh, wait. Oh, Isaac, and we better forget about all that, huh? No, let's not think about it. Let's just worry about what's going on in Hollywood. Everybody said, come out of her. No, you have answered. I've tried, but nobody's giving me the answer. What does it mean when it says come out of her? Who's her? Who's her? When it says come out of my people, who are the people? People, who's he talking to? The scripture, the word of Father spoken in flesh. Anyways, what does her? Who is her? I'll give you a hint. Remember he called her a whore. Oh, her a whore. Oh, that's in Revelation. I am Revelation. So I'm Revelation on the daily. OCD? No. On Christ daily, not excessive compulsive. It's not a disorder. No, they'll put you in jail for having a mental disorder, some kind of disability. That's crazy. Nope, America, Team America, everything's awesome. Crumbling infrastructure, everybody's slaved by debt, more people locked up in America than all the other countries combined, and they're only 3% of the populace. How's that a safe nation? How's that a free nation when everybody's enslaved by debt? You like that? I want that for some treasure. That's some kind of treasure you can't put in a shredder, not the kind you can fit in a safe, huh? Where do you put your treasure? He said put it in a higher place, not in the sky. He said to meet him in the sky. That's not over your head. So the word is more powerful than anything. It's more beautiful and more valuable than anything on this rock. But you don't love the word, so you love the world. He said, come out of my people. Maybe about that. How about that? Those little hints since nobody wants to answer. It's okay. I know. Silent majority. That's what it says. Most of the people enter they go through the broad way that enters by the pizza gate. I mean the wide gate. Pizza gate. Hey, pants. Bobo. You dare, you silly little boy. Little dingo's gonna eat the baby Jesus. Don't you eat the baby Jesus. Don't you eat the baby Jesus. The baby Jesus on the windows. The dingo ate the baby. Oh, he's a good boy. All right, nobody knows what her is. I already told you he called her a whore. So any other hints? How about the mystery secret schools, religions? You know anything about that? The celestial abyss and the firmament markers that are left in time, place, and space. Astronomy. The Magi. Remember? Signs in the stars, sun and moon. Anyways, Genesis, time, seasons, Matthew. Are you reading this book at all, or are you just in the world? Where do you put your treasure? Put it in the word, or put it in dirt? Father doesn't want us to love dirt. That's idolatry. He wants us to love the world. Things you see in the dirt is idolatry. Well, things you see and little things, little statues, and big old 58-story Babylonian towers, right? Decorated with Satan. Hey, they got one of those in Manhattan. Whose tower is that? Donald, Mr. Scrooge, DuckTales, woo. Ooh, woo. Yeah, the Wu-Tang Clan or whatever going on in here, right? Up in here. You guys are a little dull, man. You need to be refined, whacked a little bit so you have some room to shine. You can't achieve lift without resistance. So that's the word thalipsis, tribulation, suffering, long, fiery trials, long trials to be put in fire so you can be refined, like hardened like steel, or how about gold and silver? You can't refine it without holding it under the fire for a long time to get off the impurities. So that's why he beats us with fire. As a fire, feet of fire. Feet is fine brass, or brawn is burnished in a furnace. How about that? That's hotter than hell, huh? In fact, it's cold as hell. Oh, rocket. Never mind. We won't go there. We're gonna do the Kmart horsey ride. But do they have Kmarts anymore? You guys are okay. Let's say Israel's do drive everyone out. What happens when they build the third temple? Not all their supporters are going to. That's not Israel. There's no such thing as Israel. So Israeli, fake Israelis over there. There's no such thing as Israel. And Revelation is Israel is in Pakistan. Israel is in Russia. Israel is even in here in the old new mystery whore, the one I was telling you. Her who rides the beast. Well, all 180. Remember, we have all 180 countries, so all Israel is all 180 countries. Not it's blasphemy. There's no, but they'll do their physical ritual. They'll build their fake physical temple because remember the cubits. No, you're not. You don't understand the parables of the gospel. Even the idioms are not. The book is full of them, but people don't study one word. You got to study more than just the text. You have to study culture, custom, maps, idioms. Right, the difference between an idiom and an idiot. Parable is very similar to an idiom, but nope, they just take it at face value. He didn't speak with marbles in his mouth. I can tell you that much. If you study it, he can't be changed, not even a jot. He said one sin is death, add a jot death. So nothing changed. See, all this easy Jesus nonsense. Never long suffering, thalipsis, tribulation. So these idiots that think there's these fake Jews in the middle of the desert, that's not Israel. That's a triple conjunction in Aries the Ram in 1939. 3 times. When I'm a Mac guy, so I know that. Don't want you know that. You know, the percentage of the people know that on this rock. 0.0000001. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But it's okay, remember. You have to know the celestial firmament markers to know what time and what year it is. So it's not 2025, remember? So can't fool me. I'm not spinning on a planet. You're not going to 1,040-mile-an-hour at me. Go somewhere else and your warp speed or whatever you call yourself, Mach 10 or whatever. You're mocking. You're mocking Christ. What you're doing. You're an idiot. You know what you're talking about. But that's okay. Can't come in this gospel and be pulling your little silly little ball gods in the sky. Nonsense. Sky daddy Jesus, whatever you want to call him. Who's your daddy? Can't serve 2 masters. So do you sup with the word ever? You sit down and have time with Father. Pray means to have face-to-face time, not get down on your knees like an idiot when things are bad and you don't know that you're supposed to thank him for good and bad. So when he's beating you, remember long suffering. Never heard this gospel before, have you? Nope. It's on the hearts of the bride, and you should share it once you know it. He said, "Don't boast, because you know what wolf. You don't go out and share it." So, might not want to add jots or tittles, because then you'll blot your name out. Remember, death. The Old Testament. If you rip him down, the covenant he made with his bride, then you put yourself under the Levitical laws and the Levitical laws and all the Noahide laws, and that's what Trump's doing. Whether people realize it, he's bringing all that. And I don't do politics. Remember, if you fall for this left-right paradigm, you're not welcome here either. I don't sup with vipers. Remember, he said, you knew I was a snake before you let me in, and then he let Joe Biden. So, see, we don't do that, homie. Don't play that. Don't do the clown. Paint your face like orange, like the sun gods. Oh, I'm like, whoa. Oh. Everybody don't even know what's going on here. Everybody's a bunch of religious idiots, and that's okay. Remember, idiot means they don't know. Can't hold them against the wall. Get them up against the wall. We don't need no. Hey, we got a notification. Something's going on out there. Hey, we're holding the stream. Good stuff. Thank you, Father. We're holding the stream. We're not lagging out. I know it's not the best stream. And let me go grab the light too, and I'm gonna throw some food on some Barbie. Look at. As soon as I say that, the stream goes out, dude. Come on, what the hell is going on here? What a bunch of horse shit. This one sucks, man. I can't wait to get the hell out of here. As soon as I say that, stream disconnect. So, Father likes to crush me. Oh, Father, you are so brutal, and that's how you work, because you beat the people you love. That's just how it works. That's how it's written. You just have to accept it. Whether you like it or not, he's going to beat you if he loves you. The more he beats you, the more he loves you. So if you're getting beat, then he probably loves you. Well, if you're doing his will, then of course it's not easy, right? So Thy kingdom come. And get away from me. Every time you take a drink of water, you come over and get and drool over me, you big puppy dog. Oh my gosh. And now you freaking go. No, you got that all over me. Go, puppy dog. Big old puppy dog. You're all watery. You're all watery, boy. I love you. You're okay. I'll give you some lovin's. I'll give this guy some lovin's. He's like, Dad, Dad, Dad. I love you. I love you, boys. I see you down there. Apologize. Whatever. I guess it's poor quality 4G, 2G phone. I have a 2G phone. Remember? 2G. We're broadcasting from the basement of the science building. Oh my goodness, this boy. This big old guy. Oh, you big old guy. You big old guy. You big old guy. You big old guy. I love him. Oh my goodness. You're going to break Dad's ribs. Come on, man. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's a wrestler. He's a wrestler. He's getting Dad. He's getting the Dad. Yeah, he's getting the Dad. He's getting the Dad. Oh, here comes the other one. They're going to tag team the Dad. Oh, there he comes. Here they come. They're getting the. Oh, here comes the other one. He's got him in a chokehold. He's got the dads. He's got the. Here comes the other one. Oh no, we're getting ganged up on by the boys. We're getting ganged up by the boys. You can hear the slobber jaws. The boy pants. Come here, big old puppy dog. You big old puppy dog. We love you guys. You guys are the best guys that ever did best. That ever did good, boy. You're being good. Hold on. Oh, watch it. That's got to go stir my. You're such a good boy. All right, that's got to go stir my dinner here. Stir the dinner. These are the best dogs in the whole wide world. Yeah. Yep, this is what I pay for. Yep, this is what I pay for. Just re-up. Thank you, Father. It don't matter if I pay for it or not. Remember, don't matter if I report my order. They don't want to take no report anyways. Thank you, Father. Thank you for the resistance. You always find a way to just beat the snot out of me. One way or another. So, trying to do the best I can. I paid the phone bill, and I guess that's not going to work anywhere. It's going to still have to just work through it no matter what. Every single time. So, what's happening? We're getting some cabbage and some burger ready. I made it with made the cabbage with butter and some garlic and pepper, and made the burger, not 1,000-cal burger, single cow burger with some mustard. It kind of tastes like sauerkraut, but not every bite because but I'm going to put some more mustard on it this time. That's what we're doing right now. Just getting ready to eat some dinner. We fed the chickens, watered the ladies, fed the dogs and the cats, and so everybody's fed. I figured might as well get myself some dinner for the left of what was left over for lunch. So I don't try to eat a whole bunch, and so now I have some left for dinner. Beef. It's what's for dinner. So beef. It's good for your brain, skull, cranium, your noggin. That muscle up in your head. If you use it, you got a right and a left brain there. It's like a duality, man. You know what I mean, man? You know what I'm saying? All right, where's the spatula? There it is. There's the spatula. Put this over here. So I want to put some more mustard on this burger over here. I just can't seem to get enough mustard for some reason. I didn't like mustard growing up, but I sure do now. throw some more mustard on that bad boy. All that. Get it all, get her done. All right, where's my mustard? All right, here it is. Here's the mustard. That'll work. That'll work. Excuse me, big guy. All right, good stuff. So we're gonna put more mustard on that bad boy. Look at that. I couldn't even stand a single tiny drop of mustard growing up as a kid. Look at all that. Think about that, more than half a damn container of mustard on that thing. So, but we're gonna hit her hard here. Around. You still taste the cabbage, but just had this weird idea. It's fire. I don't like mustard. I never did. Look at all that. I couldn't stand mustard growing up as a kid. Just too strong for me. Now I love it. Kind of gives like a sauerkraut kind of a flavor, but not quite, Sauerkraut on the fly. That burger's top line too, though. Really good burger, not 1,000 cal pink slime. One single burger. Real meat. Not this. What the hell is that at the store these people buy? I don't know what that is. It's 1,000 cal burgers, what it is. 1,000 cows in a burger tube. That's disgusting. And I like meat, but I'm sorry, that's just not right. Pretty much just eat poison, just poison ourselves if we're not paying attention. That's good though. I'm gonna have to make that again. But I'm not kidding. I bet you I have about a half a bottle of mustard on that. But cook it off, get it warm. It's not like when it's cold or whatever. So a little bit of that mustard tang cooks off a bit, right? I've been on this cabbage cake for a while too, for the last couple months. I mean, I like cabbage, but but I've been eating a lot of cabbage. I meant to make this the other night, and I just ended up making just cabbage and ate that. It was so good. I was like, oh, well, I'll just do that another night. So I decided to do it for lunch today. So we got some sauerkraut, kind of a... So I cooked them in 2 separate pans. I cooked the cabbage in one pan, with the butter and the garlic and the pepper, and cooked that off, and then cooked the meat separate. I actually cooked the meat first, got the meat going, and then poured all that fat from the meat into the cabbage, and then added butter and used the fat for the beef, but to cook the cabbage. And then I cooked the beef once all the fat was drained off, and then I just put mustard on it, kept stirring it and rolling it, stirring it, and mustard didn't. I put a lot of mustard. Man, it's not grabbing that mustard flavor up, as much as I thought it would, but I think it's cooking off, it's not as strong. So it's crazy to think when I was young, back when it wasn't, eat your kids McDonald's, we go to McDonald's, and I remember they would put a tiny bit. I mean, if there was any mustard on it, from maybe they just had, I wouldn't eat it. I just couldn't. It was too strong for me. Didn't like it. I was kind of Now I'm like, oh man, see, I just smashed this thing. I'm more than have a half a bottle or more on this whole, just on this dish right here. So, all right, I'm weirdo. But it is good. But the cabbage is still sweet, but then that mustard kind of hits it, and that turns it in almost like a sauerkraut flavor at the end. I'm like, yeah. Because I like sauerkraut. Sauerkraut's good. Grew up eating like that. A lot of Swiss, so the bratwurst and the kielbasa's and the kraut and or the cabbage and used to make, pork ribs and sauerkraut. Oh man. Well, I miss that. That's a good thing. I don't eat pork. I haven't eaten pork in a long time, but pork ribs and sauerkraut are amazing. But I like cabbage on my like I never grew up eating tacos with. We got a name for them. They're gringo tacos. I guess you could put some lettuce on some gringo tacos, right? But tacos don't have lettuce on them. Tacos don't have ground beef on them, but cabbage. Cabbage. Replace that lettuce with cabbage. Cut it real thin. Shred it real thin. I've served it. People say they don't like cabbage, and they're like, "Man, that was that was good." And I wouldn't serve somebody that didn't know it, but we just ordered it and didn't know and said, "Well, that was really good." What kind of lettuce? Said that ain't lettuce. That's cabbage. What? I don't like cabbage. Yeah, you do. You just didn't know it. So if you shred it up real fine, it's excellent for using it for even like on a burrito or like a taco, because it doesn't get all soft and hot as fast. It holds it, and it's got a little snap and crunch to it. So cabbage is awesome. I love the cabbage. So, but if you're gonna make tacos like that, that kind of style, it's good. Lettuce gets soggy. Cabbage doesn't. Cabbage by itself, raw, doesn't have that much flavor if it's sliced real thin, We're not going to change the taste of a dish. But some people like the taste of things, like I told you with mustard, so I wouldn't make somebody if they say they don't like cabbage, then they don't like it. But I use cabbage and replace the lettuce in most places. People don't know the difference, and they actually tell me they like it better. Well, I'm going to do that from now on. That cabbage almost stay forever on your counter. That lettuce go bad in a week, or in 3 or 4 days. Yeah, nice. I do that in some places. Yeah, like farm town. Some places it's onions. Some places sugar beets or stuff. But all those round things go rolling off the trucks. Get it, Payne. You know what I'm saying? Pick that stuff up. There's nothing wrong with that stuff. Peel off a couple layers or whatever. Eat it. Don't waste that stuff. Good for you. You go pick that stuff up. People are too much pride to pick up stuff off the side of the road or whatever. I live in Ontario and Idaho. Those are both like Fruitland and Ontario over there in Napa, all that. They have sugar beets and onions and stuff. There's always onions all over the side of the road, big old huge, onions. And I think they call that the onion capital of the world, or the U.S. or something. Maybe it's U.S. I'm serious though. I like all those rolled fruits because they roll off all those trucks. Like sugar beets. I don't like sugar beets, but they roll out. Go around corners, a little loaded, and they're like, "Well, hey, look at there. What we got right there? We got some cabbage. We'll take that cabbage right there and go home and make some coleslaw." I've been making a lot of coleslaw too. I make a mean coleslaw, so. I think my mom made the best coleslaw ever, though. She really made her coleslaw was over the top good. Tons and tons and tons and tons of celery seed in her coleslaw. I remember that. That's why I loved it too. Everybody does coleslaw a little bit different. I got multiple ways to do it, but Hawaiian style, Tennessee style, I can do coleslaw many different ways, but I love that. My brother makes coleslaw that tastes exactly like KFC too. Just the way he did it for his business, because that's what people are used to. He can make better coleslaw than that, but he makes it. It tastes identical to that. I find that coleslaw is kind of like cilantro. People either love it or hate it. Now, I wouldn't want to compare the two because I know people say that, cilantro has a soap flavor, and that's just their palate. You can't tell somebody that doesn't taste like that. I'm worked in like 4 Latino or Hispanic or Mexican restaurants, and you can't make somebody eat cilantro. They don't want that. Not at all. If they got that soap flavor, whatever they say they taste, then I don't, because I make cilantro bathe in the stuff. You know what I mean? I love it, but it's a detoxifier. It's good it's good stuff in your body. But people don't like it. They don't want it. They don't want it in anywhere, and it doesn't. And I totally understand. People get a taste, and they taste that. And I kind of taste what they're talking about, but I just like cilantro, and it doesn't. But that's kind of another one of those things I'm saying. So, but anyways, it's a thing people either like or hate. I find coleslaw, cabbage. People don't like cabbage, and I understand. But if you can reintroduce it to them, maybe in a different way, a lot of the times I can get them to get over the whole. People just think of cabbage like almost like a. But I don't know. I like cabbage, just cabbage cooked by itself. All right, I got enough meat here. Getting a little overloaded on this beef here. Excuse me, buddy. Wonder if them birds are up yet. Probably not. Probably not up yet. Well, that's super good. It really is mustard on that burger. I never thought about that, but we gotta go get some more water. Tangle, get out from under there, man. You're right in my way, but you're right in my way. Always in the way. Yeah, I'm so big. I'm so big. Let's see if those birds are up yet. See if the birds are up. boys, good boys, good boys. Some sriracha peanuts here. Sriracha peanuts. You can't have no peanuts of these, not right now. Might give you one. Might give you one. I'll try them first. Sriracha ranch. No. Yep. I thought they'd be spicier, but you can taste the ranch. Interesting. Never had those before. Sriracha, same thing. I didn't eat much of that growing up. Not a big sriracha. But I know people like that too. They really like that flavor. Pretty good. Okay, are you want to try one? We're going to have one. One band. One for the bite. So what's on your radar? I'm just documenting the fall of America one day at a time. One broadcast at a time. The degradation of a society turned into a corporation. Debt slaves. No. Are you a slave to the dollar? You got a job? Pay taxes on your dollars? Your W-2 bond? Not James Bond. The same action, like your action, you punch the clock, you know. Yep. James Bond. People relate more with movies than anything else. Tell my vision. They love their visual voodoo. Wow, it's awful quiet for a Saturday or Saturday night. Sabbath. Do you celebrate? Do you remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy? Holy, holy, holy. Hey, at least our streams hold a little bit better. Didn't even hold the stream earlier. But we got that. We got the phone bill paid, so I think we got some better quality streaming now. Not great. I know that. Not HD for high definition. HD for high desert. So, high desert. Out here on the rim of the Great Basin, the largest dark sky sanctuary in the whole wide world. 2.5 million acres set apart, protected from light pollution. So, if you like the stars, this is a good place to see the stars. Kind of the stars are my thing, you know. So, the gospel and the stars, baby. The gospel and the stars. I'm taking it one day at a time right now. Father seems to beat me a lot, but what can you do? That's just part of being alive, right? The beating. Let the beatings begin another day. But that must mean you're on the right track. This ain't no easy peasy other Jeezy. Nope. No other Jesus in here. So what's come out of her, my people, mean? Are you coming out of her? When the book says come out of my people, are you coming out of her? What are you doing to come out of her? Tell me now. Tell me now. I need to see some ID here. Driver's license, registration, proof of insurance. Where you come from this evening? You had something to drink? You've been drinking this, you know? I'm asking all the right questions or all the wrong questions. Do I smell alcoholic beverage emanating from your persons? You're getting set up. I want to extort you. You better not be riding dirty. Try to catch me riding dirty, right? Mm-hmm. No. Eat that stuff at home now. I think the puppy wants another peanut, but I'm not going to give him one. So how are you doing? What are you doing? You live in the apostate nation, America? The strangulation corporation? Enslaved the republic by debt? Debt slaves to the dollar? To the corporation? Well, pretty good. Pretty good. Not too bad. Not too bad. We still taste the ranch on. Not a real big sriracha guy, so. Uh-oh. What do we do with our water bottle? What did we do with the water bottle? I'll make sure we're drinking lots of water, right? It's better than an energy drink. Get that sugar out of your diet, man. Good purified water is strong. Strong, very strong. Wow. I'm just getting hooked up that like an IV drip, man. Water, water, water. Thank you, Father, for good water. Good, clean, purified water. I don't have to drink no nasty water. Get locked up in jail, you gotta drink nasty water, right? Have some more of that. Don't mind if I do. What's he on? I'm drinking the water. I'm on the water. Terrible. Oh, good water. So. All right, so the headings come out of her, my people. Nobody's coming out of her. Everybody's staying in America. Everybody's getting enslaved by debt. Nobody cares about the people at the top making more and more money and the people at the bottom making less and less money every year. Just the poor get poorer and the rich get richer. More millionaires in Congress than there are in the general public. Why is that? Per capita, that's not right. It's like they're paying themselves. And they don't have any term limits either, remember? Damn, that's why. So people don't want to have no intelligent conversations anymore. They just care about Charlie Kirk or whatever this nonsense knucklehead is. Oh. Somebody supports a PDF file. I don't support them. I don't support people who support PDF files. You can take your PDF file supporting, you know what, somewhere else. We don't do that in here. It's not okay to touch kids. So go away. Why people talking about this nastiness? Well, no, they're not. See, they're not talking about it. They're just, oh, Charlie's got us surrounded. So go check out Enter the Stars here on YouTube, and he did a decode. If I don't get no more people in here in a minute, I'm gonna get off here and quit letting YouTube smash me for a little bit here, and maybe go watch Casey's decode on this Charlie nonsense that's going on. There's so much more evidence that's come out. It's unbelievable. So, Lewis thinks he's got a degree in psychiatry, or yeah. Where'd you get your MD there, Lewis? Is that Lewis? Yeah, Perez. Better watch out. They might come pick you up in a van there. You have too much melanin in your skin now in America. Let's throw you in a cage. So remember, mental disorder. Oh, maybe it's just too much melanin in your skin. You don't care about his people. Not at all. Definitely don't care about Latino people. I can tell that. Come on the channel to try to help people, but there you go. So are you giving out free psychological mental evaluations there, Perez? Where'd you get your doctorate at? Where'd you do your 12-year study at? Speak up there. Are you counsel, law enforcement, education certified in how to identify mental illness and how to, disabilities and mental illness? Not only identify, but how to, handle people. And is that your job? Because there might be some people wanting a free psychological mental evaluation here. You gave that so quick. I mean, are you giving them out for free or something? Why don't you answer the first question? Definitely not no doctor, because doctors type a lot. They're, words per minute a lot faster than yours. So you're definitely a scam artist or something, or just some troll trying to push drugs on people. Oh, well, something's wrong with him, so now I want him to take drugs. Get out of here, drug pusher. You're surely not a doctor, so how you ain't giving away no free psychological, mental evaluations in here? So what the fuck are you in here for? Get out of here, loser. Seriously, get lost like a number 10 socket. Seriously, what are you doing coming in here trying to think you can give people some kind of medical evaluation in a matter of moments? I think you lost your mind. Did you get a frontal lobotomy? Too many jabs? Did you bow to the altar of Jabba? Too many warp speed jabs in you? Why are you not answering my question there, Lewis? Are you Latino? Probably not. You're probably some scam artist is what you are. So, goodbye. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you there. Schizo. Man, I got all of them. I'm schizophrenic, bipolar, manic, ADHD. I even got ADT home security. Like Paul Blart, the flashlight cop, Yeah, man, I love it. On a DT when I quit. Yeah, that's a lot of. You got to get. Oh man, I don't want to hear about. That's a hard one to come off. I don't want to hear about. Maybe that's what she's just an blame it on the alcohol. I saw that meme, guys. It's great. This guy was hanging out. I think he was with his daughter, and she must have been having a sleepover or something. They were in their teens or something like that. Hold on, let me get Perez out. Here's a swine pig licker. So what's up, vipers? So, anyways, he's sitting there, and I believe he's in probably 40s or something like that, and he's sitting there, and I believe he's with his daughter, and it's maybe her friend, maybe it's her sister or something, but they're both in there. They got to be in their teens, young teens, early teens, right? And he asks his daughter. He says to his daughter, he says, if I say to you, blame it on the, and he asked, and she started coming up with some other weird things and, didn't come up with, obviously, it just kind of shows you the genre. He was trying to see if she knew that song. Obviously, I don't know if you know it. If I said to you, blame it. Now, I already said earlier but if I said blame it on what would be the first thing you would think? Somebody can tell me kind of your age. Now, she couldn't answer the question with the correct answer that her dad was looking for. And so somebody came up to you and said, blame it on what would you say? What would be your answer to that? What would be your answer to that? YouTube. Smith to spoon, Lord. Spoon Lord, uh-oh. We got some spooners in here. Some honey spooners. Where'd my lighter go? Jake Johnson. Blame it on the what? Blame it on the. No, you're not Spoon Lord. You're some dumb idiot. Some stupid American. Guarantee you're American. Get out of here, American. I don't like stinky Americans. Smell like swine, pig, snot, juice. Some kind of anal syrup coming out your backside or something. So, anybody can answer my question? You guys are just a bunch of nons, I guess, huh? No, you're all right. Blame it on the what? If I said blame it on the, what would be the answer? Oh, I might just get out of here. You guys don't know. Blame it on the rain. Thank you. Serendipity. Serendipity, boys. Well, golly. So thank you for your answer. He kept asking her, you know, and obviously because I'm from that genre or whatever, so that kind of tells me how old you are there, Serendipity. Right? So, but he's sitting there, but she's not getting it right. And she said a couple other things like the law or something like that, and it was pretty funny because from that era, you know, and the first thing he said, and you got it right out the gate, but then he said to the other daughter or whatever, that his other daughter, the other one obviously was real close. I think they look like they're real close in age, so it must have been like a sleepover. And so he asked the other daughter or the girl that was a sleeper, if he said, because she didn't get the right answer. And he said, well, what if I said to you, you know, blame it on the, and she said, alcohol. And, you know, I was like, oh my God, dude, that is hilarious because I know that song too, right? But from the older, you know, because he did the Milli Vanilli, right? The blame it on the, man, I would just hit roll. It was great, guys. So I don't get to laugh about too many things in life. Pretty serious dude. Got a lot going in my life, but that was excellent, man. I laughed so hard. Like, oh my gosh, that's Jamie Foxx, right? Blame it on the alcohol. So never would have thought about that. Wouldn't have crossed my mind. And I just think it was a really silly meme. So if you have a chance to look at that meme, go check it out. It's funny and it's cute. You know, I said they're teenagers, such a difference in age gap between our generation and theirs, but they're smart, and some of these younger kids, they're super smart. They got a Rolodex or playlist songs that you're like listening to stuff that you listen to, and then they got all their genres and stuff too, so they can have a pretty verse mind. But you got to listen to it, and I didn't mean to give it to you, but if it was organic and you listened to it the first time, man, I about pissed my pants. I was like, oh my gosh, that is hilarious, you know. And I don't get to smile and laugh about a whole lot of things. Father really crushes me a lot of the times, and so, but it just shows you how you know, intelligent and how different we are, and how alike we are in many ways too. So it's a cute meme. If you get a chance, go check it out. Thanks for Serendipity for answering my question, because that's, again, you know, the first time I heard it, it's cute because she couldn't get it. She just couldn't get to blame it on the rain, you know. But she's a teen in this modern day world. So, but there's not teens that never heard that song, and you know what I mean, and would definitely know that song. How do they know that song when they're 12 or 13? They know stuff when we were kids. I'm like, damn, how do you know Molly Hatchet? You know, like Alice Cooper or whatever. You know, just some of the strangest, but they do. They're real super smart. Some of these younger generations are amazing. They're just pre-programmed. They like walk up to your VCR and have been blinking for 20 years, 12, and there you go. Damn, you know. I remember with my son, you know, they're like, hey, you know, he's like, I couldn't get my radio in my car to work, and there you go, Dad. What the hell did you do? Blue, green, orange? What the hell? How'd you make the thing change colors? I didn't know it changed color. Oh, it does other things too, Dad. You can, you know, like, dude, I would look through the whole book trying to get that thing, look online or whatever. I couldn't. What? And he's making this face plate change colors and stuff, you know. These kids are like pre-programmed. They're so insanely smart, you know, in ways that, and some are lost, but so a lot of adults are lost too. What? What? Go. You're like having a wife. You're like having a wife. You're like having two wives. What you doing, buddy? I think these guys want to go outside. They'll be one in 5 minutes, like I told you. It's like having a wife coming in and change her clothes every 10 minutes. So asking me if her butt looks big. So in and out, in and out, in and out. Honey, does my butt look big in that dress? On this dress? All right, put him on the timer. How long before she comes in after me? Honey, does this dress look good on me? Does my butt look big in this dress, honey? So, you know, like, oh crap, honey, I love you. So, if you answer yes, is it right? If you answer no, is it right? So, well, I'm gonna take some of my flowers over here, partake in some. Yo, hippie. He's a hippie. It's high desert. We're out in the high desert where it's always partly cloudy. You know, rolled tacos, taquitos. I don't eat pork cone on Oregon snow cone. I don't eat pork cone on Oregon snow cone. They just shut up on me. I'm using tacos here, you know, and talking about no, they don't want to talk about it. Oh man, it's Show Us Your Taco Tuesday, man. What's up with that? Hear that, ladies, gentlemen? Let's keep it real in here. Let's talk about it. All right, nobody wants to talk about it. All right, I guess I'm gonna study that. Nobody wants to have any conversation. I'm just gonna study. I got all kinds of things I could be studying. Like I said, I'll go look at this. There's so much more with this, and I don't have to. It's a waste of time, but it's okay. I know Casey does some really good decodes on this. You know, Charlie was a little bit too leaning far to the right. Then, oh, he started leaning to the left or something, whatever their stupidity, all this nonsense. But there's some good research out here. I'm sure he'll have some things that it's going to lead. Prognosco. It's always, I'm telling you, this is all leading to gun control, but nobody wants to listen to me. That's okay. I don't care. I get it right about 99 times out of 100. Not every time, so I don't have to get it right every time. People won't listen to you. Remember, you do 99 good things and commit one murder. Nobody gonna care about the 99 good things you just did, right? You tell 99 truths and a lie, that's a lie. 99 lies of the truth, that's still a lie. So I like the truth. So I don't want to sit there. I like to beat around the bush. And so we've already debunked this whole thing. It's just a nonsense. They got the left and right paradigm going at each other's throats. Kind of funny to watch, but it's not nice, but it is kind of entertaining. Whatever. Left right paradigm. They're the unsung heroes get to come in with the problem. Hegelian dialect, just divide and conquer, you know, problem, reaction, solution. So they've got their pre-planned, you know, patent, whatever it is, or whatever they're going to do, and they hit the public with it. The public reacts. They get to come in with a hero with the problem that they created. Problem, reaction, solution. It's done on the people. Remember they did the old beer bug thing, the Vidco or whatever, the ring around the rosy. Everybody's wearing rosy colored glasses, you know. Stand on the X, go inside. Oh, the degradation of society. So I'm just documenting the fall of America, that's all. Nobody else wants to talk about it, but I will. I don't care. I've been doing this for a dozen years on this platform, so it ain't new to me. I used to just do channel content, you know, channel videos, but you know, the live stream's a little more fun, but not when anybody's just sitting there just being a bump on a log. But I know get a little shadow banned sometimes. This chat build not always give me all the messages. Sometimes it filters out all, so it gives me time. It just does, you know, bunch of schwasty Nazi Germany. You censor my speech. That's just the same as burning books. So ain't no different, you know. But I don't sup with vipers, but you know, speech is. I'll let be a truth. I don't want to hear lies. Remember, there are 99 lies and one truth. I used to deal with that. List a bunch of people's garbage just to get one truth from them, but not so much anymore. I don't want to hear none of it. So Outstanding. I got me a crude system. But yeah, I've been off the grid for 10 years or more. But yeah, this society nonsense is, whatever. Why would you be self-reliant? Be your own power company. Heat your house 5 different ways. They got one way, electric. That's it. They're screwed. As soon as the power goes out, they're like, oh, their heart jumps. Hey, man, I didn't always live in the country. I mean, I did time in all states and every major city in this country, but yeah, these city folks, when the lights power goes out, the heart drops. And even if you live in the country, the power goes out every once in a while, so you don't freak out when the power goes up. But man, the power goes out in town. Oh shit, man, that's a pretty crazy generation to be around. They don't have nothing. They're not going to have, you know, the smallest things can make the biggest difference, right? Water filtration system, hand carry stuff, just the littlest things, arm up with the armor of God, but little things go a long way. You got no rice and beans for their neighbors. No rice and bean even for their neighbors. It says love thy neighbor. I mean, you don't have to feed them. That's agape. It's charity with the word. But yep, society, the number one killer will be population density. The more stupid people you're around, unprepared people, they're going to come eat your kids. Remember, I'm motivated by empty mouths waiting at home. They never had their children. They never missed a whole day's worth of, let alone a meal. They're the pampered generation. And I'm trying to get people for, dozen years to just be prepared. Don't fight with people. Go down by TP for your bunghole now before there's a toilet paper debacle 2.0. They be watching, honey, get the lunch here we go again, that crazy guy on YouTube. Well, the preparedness channel, he said we're always supposed to be prepared, right? It's a lifestyle, like being a cowboy or a farmer. You don't just walk in to be something like that. You got to do it as a lifestyle. You think perfect practice prevents piss poor performance. They won't perform well because they're failures. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Oh, wait, preparing to fail is preparing to fail. Oh, yeah, if you fail to prepare, then you are going to fail. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. You want to see a failure that's sitting there like a bump on a log. Budweiser, not wise at all. Yeah, what I'm saying? There you go. Mullen leaves or whatever. They got no skill set. Okay, everything gets taken from you. What do you got now? I got about 27 candy bars and a 6-pack of root beer. Oh, that was off Beavis and Butthead. My bad. It was the first time ever doing that. It was kind of did that live. You'll have to excuse me. I didn't shoot from the hip, but anyways, they can't even shoot from the hip, right? They got draw on you before they bam, see you, bye. But anyways, don't incite violence. But I'd rather be fighting lions and tigers and bears, oh my, in the woods than fight with dumb people who want to eat my kids. Go to a drive-through. You love your kids, so take them to McDonald's, right? The grandkids, man, a generation that's gone, man. It's too much McDonald's. It's too much television. They got stung by the spelling bee. School, grow up television or remember casting spells on them and spelling curses and cursive, and you know how it goes. They just no skill set, right? Public school. So do what I'm told. I'm a good debt slave. Go to work, punch the clock, come home, kick the wife, beat the dog, drink beer, go home, repeat, recycle. They're not doing anything. They have no skill set. I know that's not really what I'm just and I'm on drugs. I'm out here with my land paid off in the middle of the country and don't want to be around society. I'm the crazy guy, right? Noah's crazy for 126 years. Remember, it ain't read not one drop. Remember, and you ever read the book of Luke? And then it rained. So, like the wedding feast of the lambs, that door will slam right in their face. Remember, the foolish virgins will be on the. Remember, he said extra oil. So. Narrow is the way. That's out in the woods in the country, right? Narrow roads. Broad is the way with the clover leaf, the big broad way that leads to the pizza gate. I mean, the wide gate. Notice you got the cosmic pizza in the cities, right? Oh, speaking of cosmos, the orderly arrangements, huh? The dogs are already whining to get in, man. That wasn't long. See, it's like having a wife. She comes in every hour or two with a new dress on. Honey, does my butt look big in this dress? And I'm telling her, honey, is there a right answer for that? I already feel like I'm sleeping in the doghouse already if I say anything. So, all right, we're just kidding. We'll make them whine there for just a minute. They can't come in and out every 5 minutes. They're addicted to being inside with the dad. They love the dad. So, they're good boys. They've never lied, cheated, or stolen anything from me. So, they're better than treating me than most people have ever treated for me. So, got to take care of your puppies. You know, man's best friend. Father makes some pretty amazing animals. And I love my kitties too. My kitties are like my puppies. They go run around like we go tromping around on the 20 acres here. They even go on the other 20 over the 40 over there at Kevin's. They go over there. They walk them down to the end of the couple miles. They'll walk down there with the dogs. They think they're dogs. You can see them on the live streams. I love my kitties too. Thank you, Father, for good kitties and good puppies. My kitties act like puppies. My puppies act like kitties, kind of. So, yeah, whatever. All dogs don't go to heaven. They don't have souls, so they don't need to be judged. None of that nonsense. They don't know. They're not doing anything wrong, and they won't treat normally anybody bad unless they're treated poorly. So, normally don't bite people like that. That's not a dog thing. You know, that's a people thing. So, that's how they are. You know, like I say, when they're thrashing on an animal or something, or eating an animal, killing an animal, that's not because they're committing sin. Remember, all dogs don't go to heaven. So listen to that nonsense. Walt Disney, Jiminy Cricket, you don't have a conscience. It's called Holkadash Spirit Ghost. He's inside you. So you don't need to worry about eyes in the sky. He sees everything you're doing. Nobody's getting away with nothing here. Not a single thing. Yes, he's inside of us. Not in the sky. Check it out. Go tell everybody now. He's not in the sky. You don't have to celebrate a single thing. You'll just have to be persecuted, suffer, and be in prison, and be put through the fiery trials and the ellipsis, tribulation, long suffering. Like gold and silver, you must be put under pressure and fire and be burnt and for a long time to know Christ. Not that easy jeezy, cotton candy jeezy. So we don't do that up in here. You know, the sky daddy. So who's your daddy? Who's your master? You can't serve two masters. Remember he said that. Have extra oil in your lamp. Be girded in his service, not your own service. So will you be ready for the marathon called life, the race? Will you have your hand raised in victory? You gotta win the race. You can't come out and peter out too fast there, stiff Peter. You gotta pace yourself, and you know, to have your hand raised in victory, you gotta finish the strongest. Yeah, you pace yourself, or did you already peter out? Listen here, stiff Peter, get behind me. Oh, Nimrod. These people are idiots, and that's fine. You can't turn a goat into a sheep, remember? I'd rather have goats and sheep and eat those than people. There's not even enough beef to cover the burgers from McDonald's. How they do that? Right? 3 counts of rubbing it in the parking lot or whatever, or loving it, whatever it was. What are you doing in the McDonald's parking lot? You know, I won't even let you put that in my car. Somebody say, hey, can we go by McDonald's? But get the fuck out of my life. Oh, I'm cursed. My bad. I'm not serious about it. It all tastes the same. I maybe not. I haven't had it in time for a long, more than a decade or whatever, but more than that. But it just smells the same. I don't care if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It all has that. The ants don't eat it, guys. The insects don't eat it. Why are we feeding this to our kids? If the insects don't eat it, that's kind of an indicator you don't want to touch that, man. You know, people don't listen to the bugs. The bugs talk to me. Well, in a sense, see, but never mind. Just remember they got that 30-year-old McDonald's burger. It still looks exactly the same. Yeah, that too. But no, listen, Pete, they got everybody. They robbed it. Remember, they're robbing people right off the streets because people are too poor. We got 1,000 military bases. They fly those jets over the top of this house, and it always pisses me off how much money it costs. We got dying people in the streets. But remember, they made the dollar menu. Okay, they got everybody like hooked on phonics. Work for me. No, I didn't do phonics. It's just psychobabble. No, I'm not. I'm just being silly. But anyways, it's a new mystery, psychobabble called American. They speak American. But anyways, they got these Americans hooked on the dollar menu, remember? And they rug pulled them on that. So remember, it was like, well, would you like the healthy $6.95 chicken salad, or would you like 5 double cheeseburgers and 2 chicken or McChickens? They're like, oh yeah, I'll have the McChickens and the burgers, please. Now, you're always going to choose, remember? And then they got that stuff up to $18, remember, for a beat. They're pulling that stuff back. So, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I watched it, man. All this value meal buckets, you know, think about that. you're working your ass off because it takes 2 incomes to make a household. You're gonna go get that funky chicken, dude. That ain't chicken, you know that three. That chicken look do nothing like it lift weights, man. You know all this pumped up chicken, pumped up the jam. Maybe it was pumped up kicks. No, never mind. Sorry, whatever. That chicken look like it's on steroids or something, right? With 3 breasts, whatever. Never mind. But it's better, easier to just get that KFC bucket in it, hit that drive through, because what are you going to do? Go home and most people don't even have a dinner, you know what I'm saying? A dinner table, they sit on the couch and, and that's whatever, but, if they get together at least, but they don't even do that. We don't even have porches anymore. People don't sit on their porch and do nothing, but they go to work all day like slaves. So you're better to be like whoever was in here. I apologize. Man, I normally catch people's names. I don't miss a lick. How did I miss your name? But anyways, he's off the grid, man. Become your own system. Cut all that food out. Grow your own food. I got so many eggs out here. I don't know what the hell to do. I'm feeding with the dogs, giving them to Kevin. just ate 10 eggs a day, and I still got eggs. And we've lost a couple birds out here mysteriously or whatever, but we're still getting more eggs than I know what to do with. And man, I wish I could give you guys some eggs right now. These eggs are not like the eggs you eat. These eggs are like off the chain. These things are like superfood type of, not the eggs. You wouldn't want to eat a grocery store egg after you eat an egg off the back of these these chicken or these golden nuggets or these butt nuggets, whatever they call them. Well, they're golden eggs because you can hatch them out and make more. See, abundance and do more and more and more. And you can get animals and start growing those and breed those out and grow gardens and grow extra tomatoes. Holy shit, honey, what do we do? We have more tomatoes than what we do. They already stewed them, canned them, ketchup, sliced, diced tomatoes, ketchup paste. Now what are we? They're still ripe and they're still green on the vine. Now what are you going to do? We've already been feeding them to the chickens, to the goats, to the, lose anything out in a farm, but you can create abundance. People don't think you can. Absolutely, you don't have to just survive. You can thrive, but you got to cut yourself out of the system. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing their, supply chain and become source more locally if you can. Maybe it can't be your whole, but maybe you can go to farmers markets. Things like these are much better for you too. And some of them will even trade and barter a little bit, maybe use gold or silver, things like that. There's the markets are different when you source locally. You need to do that too. That way when these grocery stores and stuff break down, you got a local source to go grab things up that you already have a relationship. Like David, he works with the Amish, or the Mennonites, and they have food that they offer and milk and all these they do they raise all that stuff. They do it organic. It's not like this food you're getting from the grocery store. And it is competitive on their pricing, but you got to be in with these people. You got to build a relationship with them, like you need to build a relationship with your local coin shop if you're going to partake in the metal markets, physical markets, so you can have a place to actually, God forbid, if you ever have to. I did, and it is what it is, but you need to source locally. You need to have a relationship. So absolutely, that's more important than anything, guys. If you lose everything, that's the most important thing that serendipity just said. Listen, it is truly, but everything can be taken from you. You could have stores full, bunkers. It's called it's called a shelter. Just listen, I'm going to give you a little hint too. You need to get a place under the ground for hailstones, rain, water. This ain't panic. Listen, I'll go back to what he's saying, but just listen. You can have everything filled, but you need at least try or find an overhang. There's a lot of reasons why you need to have a place away from the weather. Just don't freak out. It's just a weather. So don't call it a bunker, okay? That'll put you on a list with the NSA. I don't care about the NSA, but just, you don't want to bring any alarm. If you need to get something and dig something, you're probably telling me you grew too many tomatoes, just like I just said. Oh, we're stewing a root cellar because we grew too maybe over there digging away. Oh, there's hippie farmers over there digging a cellar. Oh, shit, who needs a cellar? We got fucking McDonald's, man. We got White Castle, we got Checkers, whatever, Piggly Wiggly, the Kroger. I don't care where you shop, Winco, Walmart. Look, back to what he's saying. You can have everything full in that bunker and all that, whatever shelter, full of all the long-term food storage and bullets and band-aids and bandage, weapon, but it all can get taken from you in a second, brothers, sisters. What do you got now? What do you got now? So listen to what he said. He said your skill set. He didn't say that. He said forage. Brothers, sisters, that is the most valuable skill set you can have. I don't care what skill set. To be able, 3 generations ago, they could go into the woods, a man or woman, feed themselves, not need a Starbucks and or whatever, like we said, we go through all these places, Hardee's or Carl's, and they could feed themselves without you know what I'm saying, hurting somebody. That's what I'm saying. They knew how to be self-sufficient, and self-reliance is going to be everything in this new system. If you're not 1 foot out of the system and the new system comes and you don't like the new system, you can get out and take out of the system, but you got to have 1 foot. If not, you're going into the new system. And that's what this is about. It's about cutting off the supply chain. So the best skill set that you can have, far superior to anything else, is to be able to forage. Obviously, listen to serendipities off grid like myself. And we're going to give you good skill. We're already doing it. We're not one of these oh shit people, because we already said that. And we have the most stable-minded people on this rock are probably the people that are called what you might call preppers, because they said oh shit, and then they did something about it, and then they went fishing. They moved on with their life. They enjoy their surroundings, and they don't have to fear. They don't live in fear. That fear made them get up off their ass to do something about it, to ease that fear. Now, and you're in good hands, right? Like I'm just saying, get an overhang, get a place, get something out, and then go move on with your life. You can have a life. Oh, we noticed that the monsoon season shift, or that the tornado alley used to be much closer towards Oklahoma. Now it's shifting over more towards Louisiana. Hey, honey, we're not in an area that has tornado shelter. Why don't we do that? And that'd be another thing. Like I said, you can actually dig that by yourself if you wanted to, and just tell somebody you're digging a root cellar because you got some extra tomatoes, and they won't even look twice at you, brother, sister. So there's ways to do these things, but remember, all that can get taken from you. First aid is going to be a very valuable asset to have, to know how to do basic CPR, how to dress a wound, do a tourniquet, IV, some of your basic first responder type skills is going to make extremely valuable. So if you came into a situation where you came across people and they, you didn't have anything, yes, you do. You're so valuable, they're going to take you in. If you know how to say, hey, don't eat that berry, that'll kill you. That one right there, that mushroom will make you feel funny, and that one's you can eat. Now you don't want to eat that one, will kill you, or whatever. Remember, this skill set took people thousands of years to gain, and we lost it in 3 generations, brothers and sisters. So go back to the ways of old, because serendipity is right. Foraging is going to be your #1 skill that you can have. I'm telling you, it'd be more valuable than anything else, because you ain't growing food in rows. That's bullshit. Seeds will barter with, but don't listen to people. You better have a food plan storage that's already prepared, because you don't want to be trying to grow food in rows. You're bringing people to, you better grow what is called a food forest, where you can grow things, that are moringa. There's other things that you can grow that people eyes don't. You're gonna grow red tomatoes, and people are gonna come over and steal your shit. You're not gonna have enough time. So again, think about long-term food storage too. In the meantime, to pad that. Now you can pad that, and you can use that. Okay, I'm gonna take this. Me and Serendipity, we're already on this. I got some mountain house meals, and I'm gonna send him out, and I think he can hunt. Hey, he can forage. Maybe he's a little better at forage. So I'm going to go hunt, set fall traps, and try to fish, take care of the meat. And he's going to go find chanterelle, shiitake, salmon berries, and roots, that we could eat to throw into the mountain house meal. And we're going to share that, and we're going to eat like kings. Actually, see, he came back, and I got a squirrel, and I didn't catch anything, but we had that chicken dinner, and I guarantee you, once I barbecue that squirrel meat and throw it in that chicken casserole, it is going to be off the chain with the chanterelle mushrooms and the side of the berry, made a little fruit pie out of the salmon berry, and guys, you're gonna be living the dream. But no, you're gonna kill somebody because you don't even know how to go into the woods and feed yourself anymore. Hunt, trap, set a fall trap. Skin a buck without cutting the piss sack and ruin all the meat, turn it into a hamburger, quarter it out, even learn how to skin it properly, tan the hide, do whatever. The basic skill set is gone. And that's going to be the ways of old. It's going to come back. There's a book that's called, I think it's The Ways of Old. Look it up. And this is a gentleman who went through all these generations that have kind of been lost and regathered this in a book, making such things like pemmican, learning how to put food away without having a refrigerator. One way is to get it under the ground. That's why I'm telling you to get this, the lost ways. Thank you. There we go. What I call it something else. You're lost, man. No, I'm lost. Whatever. I can't get everything perfect right on, guys. I have faults. I'm not a robot. Some people think I might be, but I'm not. But anyways, your skill set, brothers, sisters, Serendipity is absolutely right. Foraging will be the most valuable skill set, brother, sister. You can learn that right now. And I know you might not be very good at it, but what you can do, listen, I'm telling you, I don't have this. And this is shame on me because I'm not, but listen, the most valuable thing you have, I'm going to give you some really good prepper tips. Okay, here, if you want to help a brother out, there's a PayPal or Cash App or whatever, but you don't have to do that to help me. I actually can't give what I have away enough. And that's what bothers me. So don't worry about it. It is what it is. But like I said, your skill set is going to mean everything because everything can be stripped away from you. That try to keep that in mind. And will you be a burden to somebody else? You know, the major thing that I want you to concentrate, if you haven't been prepared yet, is a single water filter. This is a personal water filter. This one has, and I don't make anything else. I can't imagine these companies have sold thousands of these for these companies, just like the Interlinear. We sold out Amazon from Interlinear on TikTok and stuff. We've done that. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. But these Sawyer Minis, this is 100,000 gallons. You will never buy another water filter ever again. Okay. You got to learn how to start making things like pemmican, learning the old ways so you don't need to have these modern convenient. You can. So you should learn this, but now you should also learn how to make a filter without having one of these just in case something got taken from you. So not a skill set that you couldn't learn. These skill sets would be more valuable than what you own, brothers and sisters. Trust me, you're going to have things, and that's going to be fine. Like I have a tremendous amount of things that I want to help people, but you got to start basic. You know, you don't want to be beating somebody up or chopping somebody's head off just because you're thirsty. And, you know, these are things now that you might later be able to, this might be the most barterable item more than gold or silver, because when you're laying next to a big old chunk of gold or silver or bar or whatever, and you're thirsty or hungry, you ain't gonna care about anything that's a precious metals, okay? And I'm not saying that they lose their value, but you just need to put your priorities in the right place first. These, again, I ain't giving any investment advice, but this is something you have to have. There's no excuse that everybody on this rock should not have one of these. I'm serious. I mean, you can collect soda cans and bring them back in the state that I have. So people have CDs and video games and all kinds of, they go to Starbucks for what it would cost. I can't believe when I first started talking about these here just a few years ago on this channel, and I've talked before, how much these have gone up. So I've used these. This is 100,000 gallons. I recommend this for the money because between the price, this has, it's the same filter, but in a very similar fashion, but these have outstanding reviews. And I mean, this is the filter. And there's a straw in it, and there's a bag in there, and there's a pump to, you know, a little like a hypodermic to pump, you know. And so this is going to be the last water filter you buy in your life. You tell me you don't have enough money right now to buy that, there's no excuses. I don't get veterans benefits. I don't get any separation pay from the military. I was a single dad for 8 years, no child support, no Social Security. I paid in that since I don't get any money. And I always find the way. Father helps me to, you know, to not make excuses, to have this type of preparedness thing so that I can help others too. So I again think that something like this would be one of the most valuable things that you can have. It'll make gold and silver look worthless. Not that it will ever be, because it's never gone to go. I'm not saying giving any economic advice either, but this will be very liquid, if you will. You know, you got to have something like this. And then remember, if something like this gets taken away from you, you need to go back to your skill set, because it's not that damn hard to build a water filter that you can filter water with. You're just going to have you get your skill set up. If you can make a fire, then you can make a water filter, okay? You know, that you can, you know, both ways. You can boil your water, but then you can also make a charcoal system. That's what's in these that pulls out the bacteria in them. They're not super complicated. It's not rocket science. So this is a good way to get your preparedness started. And when you get these steps out of the way, this makes huge steps. Like, for example, if you live in an apartment, you can fit that power inverter. I need a new one, but it's still working. But you know what I'm saying? 6 years, solar panel, you know, wind turbine, you know, all these things like a wind turbine takes up about as much room as a vacuum box. Not like carpet or anything like that, but you know, that's something you can put in a closet. This is something you can put in your sock drawer. Preparedness is a mindset, and it's a lifestyle. You don't do it out of fear. That's called hoarding and fear porn, and we don't do that in this channel. So when you get prepared for something, it's so you can, again, you can move on with your life, but you need to have a, did we lose our audio here? What happened here? We lost our, let me see if I can get our message back up. Okay, Jeremy's the last person I had that said something. Huh. All right, whatever. It is what it is. We'll go all messages with spam. Maybe they'll come back. So anyways, you're like I said, it's okay to own things, but you better get a way to have where you don't have to own anything to be valuable, brothers and sisters. I'm serious. You better find a way to be more valuable alive than dead. And a great way to do it is to have a skill set. You have many skill sets. You're not going to be very easy to whack. You ever heard of Operation Paperclip? Anyone? Probably not. All right, I'm going to let my dogs in. You guys aren't answering me again. That's okay. I get banned, man. It's shadow banned. So it is just like Germany. Like, here we go. Weimar, Germany, hyperinflation. You better get something that's worse up before it just, deflation comes. And then, oh my goodness. You guys don't know about deflation, do you? All you've ever known is inflation. That's what they're afraid of more than anything. When the people say, I ain't gonna go buy it, I'm just gonna wait till it's cheaper. I'm just gonna wait till it's cheaper, then the system's screwed. See, they can keep you buying it and inflating to keep buying it, but when you don't want to buy it anymore, not because it's too expensive, that's another part, but deflation is what they're afraid of, brothers and sisters. I know what I'm talking about, but anyways, moving on. So I hope you're getting ready, and just so you can provide abundance for people later. You can not just survive, be hanging by a string, but you can actually be lifting people up by that string and helping them up. That's what Father wants us to do. And I know the foolish virgins didn't get fed last time, but under this covenant, it's all flesh. So I'm going to at least try to feed these foolish virgins. Not wise, but it's okay. And if I don't, then I die trying. I don't care. At least I die trying. I want to survive. No, I want to thrive. And I am. I'm living the American dream. I guarantee a serendipity. I'm not giving away his 1020, but I guarantee he's living the dream right now. It sucks that I don't know if he shares his life with anybody else. Even sometimes do we do this alone? I farm and homestead alone by myself, but it is truly, I don't do this whole American thing. I don't like America. I don't like what's going on in this country. I didn't take an oath to America took an oath to the right of the people or a flag, but I guarantee he is living the dream, the American dream that a lot of people, and there are people who are doing this, and you just got to get out of the system. And people are so afraid to get out of the system. It's hard when you don't have maybe it's because I was in sales and, other things, moved around a lot and did things when I was younger that wasn't afraid to get out of the system. But people are afraid to leave that gravy 9 to 5, make a certain paycheck, and it's a guarantee, and they get in that comfortable lifestyle. And, well, where else am I going to make my money? Well, go out and work, for Christ's sake. Build something, make something from your own hands. Start from the ground up. I mean, you're just going to sit there in a hole and not even try to dig a damn stairwell out of there. I'm stuck. Oh, I'm stuck. You can dig a freaking stairwell, for Christ's sake. Start digging, you loser. I mean, get out of here, you number 10 socket. Get out of my face. See, it's lead follower. Get out of my way. People who don't want to help themselves, try to remember that too in the future, brothers and sisters. Oh, outstanding. Oh, man, outstanding. All right, cool. See, I love that. Thank you, Serendipity. Outstanding. It don't matter. It don't matter to me. I just one race, the human race. I mean, we're equally yoked under this covenant. So I try to tell people this, and there is, brothers and sisters, if you look, I mean, maybe Serendipity wants to be alone and be it's always harder to live kind of even with people, brothers and sisters, because you find out is we're tribal and there's normally not enough. I'm a veteran, so I know a little bit. It has its benefits to living alone. It's very nice. It gets lonely. There's a solitude. But look, we go on the internet and northeast, west, and south. We go all over this rock and visit with our brothers and sisters. But if you look up, there's a place called, and I don't normally use Facebook for that. I use it for the marketplace to, keep a living, move things, sell things, whatever. But there was some groups in there that are Facebook groups, and there are some you got to watch them. Some are just horrible, but were some. I've gotten one. I was going to pass it on, but it was a homesteading group, and there are a lot of people who are by themselves looking for people to homestead with them, because there is kind of a lack of people who are willing to jump and take the plunge, and there are quite a few people that are maybe, again, serendipity. I don't want to ask, that's none of my business, if they want to be left alone, or if they are struggling with to find people, and I can, if they want to indulge that. But me, I've struggled to find people who actually want to jump and do this with me, and I've got it all set up and I'm living the dream, and it sucks because all I want to do is share what I have, the land, the abundance, and teach people how to thrive. If I just sometimes have one person holding a board on me or for me on the other end, it wouldn't blow over the wind and almost knock me over. And there two heads are better than one in many ways. I mean, if you think about it like this, um, when you're out it's the basic social skills. You've got individual, community, state. That's the social pyramid. And when you're out there on it as an individual, you have all the freedom, and there's no such thing as freedom, but you have the freedom to do what you want. You can pee in the bushes. Nobody's going to see you. You eat what you want. Nobody's going to take your food. You don't have to supply pretty much. You have total freedom, you know. And then community, you're going to lose some of those rights going into community, whether you like it or not. You can't just pee in the bushes now. You got to look over your shoulder or whatever. There's a certain loss of those freedoms that are given up. We never want to give, so our freedom's up to the state. Okay, so we never, ever, ever, and that's why I'm so anti and want to bring it back to either individual or community. And I'm not talking about communism either, but if you knew the basic social structure of how the human body works or whatever, and I don't want to overgo with this, but anyways, some of us are fine being individual, and we don't need somebody that just adds, as I'm saying, somebody to hold the board. It cuts the cost in half for whatever feed or whatever, but that's, you lose some of your rights. But anyways, there are these places, and I don't mean rights like that, but just your freedoms to do. You gain too, because you have somebody to hold the board. All that, you lose some, but you gain. Just look at it that way. Because if you never thought about how this would work, and a lot of people, like I said, I'm blessed. I know that Father, because I had this together for 10 years, and somebody came in here and been a bad apple and upset the whole thing and just ruined it all. Maybe Father's time is completely perfect, and he does all these things, and it's his time. But anyways, if you'll look at these homesteader type channels, a lot of them are literally like meat markets. But there are some that are really individuals like myself or others that are looking too for other people to join their communities, that don't want to date, don't want a relationship, but they need hands, farm hands. Or so if you look into this as something, I'm just trying to get you to jump, if you will. There are some people that have no excuses for this. They're growing in their neighbor's yard because their neighbor doesn't, and they're already growing in their neighbor, and they're in town. They grow herbs on their windowsill to cut out the cost any way they can, to cut themselves out of the system or cost to get more organic. They'll grow tomatoes in buckets, potatoes, they'll do whatever they can. So don't think there are people that are out motivated, but it's Father's timing. So yeah, see, I'm not like that too, because Christian Valley, it's 25 miles or whatever. I'm in the country, so everything, it's 2 hours from a Walmart. I don't want to live near any. I'm okay. This actually, the city that I live is Bend, Oregon, and I despise cities, but this is a totally, even Kevin, he's from, I've been to all 50 states and all the major cities, but it's kind of a different feel here in Bend. But average home price, $800,000. Every third home sold for $1 million. I mean, it's ridiculous. So hard to, but that breeds a lot of opportunities. So like Sarah Divvy saying, when I'm going into town, what I'm saying, I'm going there for opportunity. I might pick up something, boom, boom, and then I'm coming back. And I don't want to even go to town. I'm allergic to stoplights. I live in a town that this ain't even you ever that town, go around and find out kind of town, that town wishes it could be this. This is a township. We don't even have a yellow light. We ain't getting no yellow light out here because this is a largest dark sky sanctuary of the world. So protected, 2.5 million acres protected from light pollution. So they ain't letting no yellow light flashing light. We don't know stop signs like that out here. I mean, there's a couple but there's no stop signs like this. It's a one-lane town, and that's a good thing, because there's still resources. So another thing that I want to say to you too is it sounds like serendipity, like me, has thought about this. You don't want to get too far away from society, brothers and sisters, where again you can't step out of town and still use this. Keep one foot in society until the whole system breaks down, and then you check out. But if not, and the system breaks down, you're going in the new system, brothers and sisters. You're not going to be able to digital blockchain, credit communism score, digitally credit scoring all your tracking and tracing everything you do. And if you can't do this, you're gonna, and you'll be all right, but you're gonna be, you're gonna be a slave to that new system. And you'll be much better off if you can make pemmican and set a fall trap and run a trout line or skin an animal, know how to tan a hide, know how to be able to be self-sustained, self-sufficient, self-reliant, so you're not dependent, or you will go into this new system. They've already got most people very dependent on it. And like I said, just look at these people living in cities. So don't move so far out into the nowhere though, too, because that's not going to work unless you just got a lot of money or something. And I don't have any money like that to do that. I mean, I have my land paid off or whatever, but you got to start from the ground up. I came here with nothing. And I look back here in the last 5 or 6 years, what's been built here, multiple cabins, and then a freaking $250,000 storm shelter. But it's just, I don't make money like a paycheck like that. I work my ass off to make by the sweat of my brow, every single penny I have, I earn, the hard way. And so, but you look back, and then that makes you appreciate it when you grow your own eggs off a chicken, when you feed those, I don't have a relationship with my birds, but I love my birds. They're a Rhode Island cross, red sex link. They're like little puppies. I mean, they're amazing animals, and I'll eat them if if I have to, and whatever. But you build a resource rich, and then the system doesn't intimidate you like that anymore. You become the power company. When you own your solar, your wind, you drill a well, you live next to a spring, so you can use hydro, whatever. I don't have running water, but I'm not that far from running. I'm right near the wood lines. It's just what I could afford at the time. So we all have to start at a different level, but remember, that's kind of part of your thing. A lot of people can't do this, I know, because of cost, but don't let that be an excuse. There are places you can go, like where I live, and I came out here with a tent. I mean, I bought my son a motorhome, or whatever, so he can live in a motorhome behind, what all, and have that luxury. But, he was still younger and not an adult at that time, so I could live in a tent, but he didn't need to. And it was an ARC tent that I lived in, but you can start with nothing. And that's what I'm saying. Let's go back to the original conversation about having your skill set. Learn how to forage, learn first aid skills, learn, how to hunt, how to fish, how to trap, there's so many skill sets that don't take money too, that you could be learning. So I want to go back to probably the most valuable thing I'm going to give, and it bounces off what serendipity said. And I'm not kidding you. I'm a military veteran. I have a lot of skill set in survival, Arctic training, mountaineer. I've done a lot of things in and outside the military, law enforcement. Okay, a lot of training. This is probably the most valuable. I'm just going to bounce off what she's saying. Okay, what she said to you. The best skill set you can have is still hands down what she said, foraging. So listen, right now the interweb is up, or the World Wide Net, right? Whatever you're calling it. I don't know which program you use, whatever program they got you on, but right now you can go and you can print off. Listen, this is the most valuable thing you're ever, really, for like a skill set other than the water filter. Okay, because of that, and learn how to make your own water filter, make a fire. You can learn how to make a water filter. It's not that hard, but print off. I don't have these, but just like I said, I told you earlier, I'm guilty of this. Print off your local area you're at right now. Where you're at, there's a certain, the foliage, you're agrarian. You got to go in and be able to go look through the berries and know which berry is correct to eat, which mushroom you can eat, which root you can pull up, which there's bark you can use for medicinal purposes. There's not just eating, but medicinal purposes, like things like mullein. And I don't want to go through this. Even, there's so many things right now that you can get a print out of. Now listen, Here's where I'm going to give you something that maybe someday Father will unchain me and give me some treasure. Not like that. Just unchain me so I can, my treasure's traveling the world and sharing the gospel. I don't want to own anything. Okay, seriously. But because you are where you're at, you have a certain kind of foliage that grows in your area. You're not, I'm in Oregon. I'm in Silver Lake. So I'm going to have to, juniper berries and things, there's more up closer up into the woods where I can find mushrooms and stuff. But you need to look what's in your area. Okay. Please look what's in your area. Now listen, this is one of the most valuable things you've ever been given. Take those pages, brothers, sisters, and laminate those pages. It won't be cheap. Laminate, you can roll, and laminate won't get wet. I mean, this is something that I've learned in the service. This is a treasure that you cannot put a price on. So now you have it might not be cheap, but you need to make yourself, and it's not going to be light to carry, but you're going to have to, it might be just one of those things when you make a go bag, if you know what a go bag is, that you got to figure out what you want in there, what's valuable, what's not. To me, I'd rather have all that agrarian, bark and tree root and flowers and grasses and, all that with what I can eat, what's correct. Because remember, almost for everything that's out there in the wild, brothers, sisters, there's a mimicker that is, that can make you sick, especially with like mushrooms, psilocybins, and things like that you can make you sick. Thank God for all the people that, all right, we're going to watch, Serendipity, and Serendipity's going to try this. Now, if she starts acting all weird and starts flopping around, we'll go get the priest and we'll sprinkle some holy water on her because she's got a demon or something, because she's having a seizure, right? Thank you for all the people who tried before, brothers, sisters, who knew which one. So you can still find that information out there today. Thousands of years, and I've told this before in this channel, most of that skill set came from the ladies, because the man, not that women couldn't hunt, but the gatherer was the female, and she was superior, brothers, sisters, in this, to make this team work as it is in the wild. If a man was out there and he didn't smack a woman over the head and take her and drag her to the cave and just have his way, and he really wanted to have a team with her, you know what I'm saying? There we go. Good. There we go. Good stuff. Outstanding, Fox. Good stuff, man. There we go. There we go. Outstanding. Good stuff. Thank you for good conversation there. But think about this, guys, what I'm telling you. Even the ladies were more of the gatherers, and they were superior on their skill set to know what they could eat. The man went out there and got the meat, you know what I'm saying? And it's not that the women couldn't hunt. They were skilled hunters. Many of them could hunt bow and spear and but that was generally more of the man's role in when it came to the team. Remember, when you're out there by yourself, you're all community, you can piss and crap and do what you want. But you come together, you have to form that team. And so I want you to know that over time, you need to look at that. The women had that skill set, and they really had gone through a lot of time. We lost it. So sucks. You ladies are been such an asset. All three. There we go. See what I'm saying? So you got to know that. But maybe you want that one time serendipity. Maybe there's a time you need that. Remember, they use that in certain. I don't need it, but I'm a veteran. People get PTSD and stuff like that. Spats of depression. They use that stuff. I'm not giving any medical advice, but to bring people out of heavy, depression and things like that. Maybe people did it too much, a little bent over too far, and it can bring them back kind of over to the light side with the right, that's huge, man. Tinctures and things like this. Guys, this is what we should be focusing on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There you go. But I'm just saying, it just, these women went out, and we lost that in 3 generations. We don't even yoke with our women like that anymore. We've forgotten that we're a team. We're supposed to work together. And it is. It's the wokeism and the cancellation of masculinity and I don't know, whatever. I think if you were spiritual, you know what I'm saying, you would be doing this anyways. And so they are. Don't worry, brothers, sisters. You're not going to change anything. But you know what I'm saying. There's people that are doing these things already, people that are successful, and like I said, focus on the future. You can thrive and not just survive. It is possible to thrive. Survival is a mindset. Survival is something, but that's just getting by. Why would you want to do that when you could have abundance? And it does take a tribe. So you better figure out who you're going to be with and who you're going to do with, or you're not Rambo. I've done it on my own, and you can have, but you can't survive long term. I don't care what anybody says. I have more training than probably all of you in this room combined. It doesn't make me better, but I'm telling you, the number one key to survival is community, brother, sister. It don't matter how much your water filters you have or bunkers or mineral, none of that matters. You cannot, it does take a tribe. So try to figure out, maybe you can't leave the city. You need to learn how to bug in. Okay. Make a plan not to be able to leave. Most people are not going to leave when there's a solar flare, one terrorist attack away from lockdowns in America. No, you're not. You're not going anywhere. You're not getting out of these cities. You ain't gonna think you're not going to your bug out. You better live at what you call your bug out, and I ain't trying to go there. I mean, so you better learn how to bug in first. If you are one of those people, you can't get out of the cities, you're trying to get out, but it's just not there yet. That's going to happen to a lot of people. You better start figuring out how to put blackout curtains in your room, not firing up generators, showing light, and, eating in there without, there's a lot of skill set you need to learn how to bug in. You don't want to be firing up generators, being the only one in your town with the light on. Hey, the barbecue's at Joey's house. Look at that place lit up like a fire. you know, things you better start learning too if you want to make it and get through this, because it won't be permanent. A lot of these things, people make it through all these events, but the people don't make it are the low hanging fruit that get picked first. If that makes sense, don't be one of those people. Don't be like that. Get yourself, you know them by their fruit. Workers of darkness or workers of light. Just work in light. Focus on charity and things that are more not fighting. And we're not supposed to be fighting with each other. The scripture says, wrestle not against flesh and blood. We're not under the covenant of war. We're not supposed to be warring with each other, although it's near impossible for us, not because we're tribal, but if there's a group enough of us that do this, the evil just goes away in a sense, brothers and sisters, like a bully. If you quit feeding it, God, stop feeding the system, the whole system. Like evolution doesn't mean you grow another thumb or a third, breast or something. It's that you evolve around the system. You go around it. Not like a hamster. That's a revolution. They want you to fight, red team, blue team with each other. A revolver, you put 6 shoot, and that's a revolution. A hamster going on a wheel, nowhere fast. You're not moving. Go around the system. See, that's how this, if enough of us went around the system, like they couldn't even offer these disgusting food products to us, genetically modified and all this. If during World War II, brothers and sisters, like 40% of the populace, I mean, that was World War II, victory gardens, but 40% of the populace grew their own gardens in this country. And now less than 1% of the populace grows their own gardens. I mean, that's disheartening, is it? I mean, crazy. These people are so dependent on the Piggly Wiggly or the grocery store, and they can't even go. So when these events happen, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Most of these people are going to be right into the old system or the new, out from they're gone. They're in the new system already. They don't have 1 foot out. So you got at least to make 1 foot out of the system, or you will come, and it's already happening to this new system, this digitally, socially credit blockchain communism, where they're going to track, everything you do. Sure, they'll feed you, but you might be eating jets and food printed by the mile, or it's not going to be good, brothers. We already eat pretty much poison, and we do it to ourselves. That's what's incredible about how this all works to me. I figured out that I still too, I don't eat perfect, and I'm trying to get there. That's why I'm actually trying to get out of America, go down to Ecuador and grow food down there towards the equator, where I can take a seed and spit it on the ground and it'll grow. Try to remember, I don't know if you ever heard that too, brothers. They used to plant by the moon, and I've heard this so many times. You're supposed to take your seeds and put them in your mouth. If you're going to grow that, and I'm not giving any medical advice, that plant's going to do whatever you're lacking. It's going to know, and it's going to, now you have to have nutrient, grow your soil, nutrient dense soil. But if you have issues, brothers and sisters, and you look, Father's amazing. If you look at each one of these fruits or vegetables, it's generally shaped for the organ or the body that it's designed to, look at. Just look at shapes. Look this up. I don't know if you know any of this skill set that I'm giving you here, but these are things that are really important too, where you can do these type things too. You can organically, this is old medicinal ways, that they've been around forever. And I'm not giving any medicinal advice. I've already given medical strikes for talking about things like this. YouTube doesn't want you to be healthy. They want you to take your hollow needle and get in line and take your cheat test, get your free test, and just eat what they tell you. Food printed by the mile. Eat your kids. The government loves you. They're going to put you on government cheese. Don't worry about it. Polymer, plastic. Eat plastic because the government loves you. Eat credit cards. I'm a plastic man. You know me. I'm a young OG. I'm a plastic. No, he said classic, but anyways, that's a classic. Remember that Ronald Reagan cheese? But what do we got here? What do we got here? Okay, hold on. That's one of the neighbors asking for some eggs. See if she can have some eggs. I'm about to get a hold of her and let her know I have extra. Got an abundance amount of eggs, so gonna have to give her some eggs. I love eggs. I need to get some more food for these girls. Are not liking this other organic. It's not I got them a scratch and I didn't get them the lane because I feed them all these other things, but I think they like those lane pellets better. So um, I don't know. I thought Ken was going to help me out and get some food, but he's been kind of stuck over there for a while, so I haven't heard from him. And I went and took the last what I had and bought that other scratch. But I'm gonna take some of that change that I have up next time I go to town and buy him some of that scratch too, or the lane pellets because they're the others. There's not. They woof those lane pellets down. That this scratch, and it's organic. I bought a 5-grain scratch or whatever, and I add other stuff, nuts and berries to it. They've got plenty of their eggshells are thick, man. They're happy, but I think I need to get them some more of those lane pellets. They really like those things, so they've been on them since I had them. But they go mix that into the mix next time I go up to town. I like to take care of those birds. They lay such beautiful eggs for me. So, anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys, for this time. I'm not sure if I'll come up for the end of the night. I think I want to do some study, and I told you I want to go check out that Casey from Enter the Stars. He does a little bit longer videos. He doesn't do short ones. So, yeah, stay with the channel and watch this channel grow. And we're going to take the ministry down south if I can continue to get down there and grow food down there. And it's really important to me to have really good quality food. Appreciate everybody coming in and give good comments. And these are the kind of comments that make this ministry work. I appreciate when people are not talking about. You can have entertainment, guys. I'm not saying that, but we need to be trying to help each other right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get wrenches out here to a couple of you guys here, and as long as you guys will come back and produce good quality content, we kind of change this channel here. It is a ministry on our channel. We want you to stay around and produce when you have time. Produce that type of good quality content in here because I have learned a ton of what I've learned. These life hack type of things. Branches to Serendipity and Fox was in here putting out some good information. I appreciate that, guys. This is going to help people. I don't want to see people suffer, and I know you can't help people that don't. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? You can lead a person to knowledge, but you can't make them think. If people don't want to help themselves right now, brothers and sisters, it's about time to it's time to let them kind of be. Just show, if they're in the broad way, show them the narrow way. If they don't want to help themselves, there's no fence right now. People be hungry for this. They're going to want to get ready, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we try to put good fruit in here, because people can glean so much from you know what I'm saying, from others that want to help, and you can have fun and go do things on other channels, but in here we're trying to be adults. It's a really serious time. Not fear. Don't fear this. Don't be anxious. The word says don't be. And if we get ready right now, we won't just survive. We'll thrive in this environment. That way we'll be able to not just, the charities, somebody hanging by the string on surviving, but the living them up on that string and pulling them out of the, and Father likes both sides of charity, brothers, sisters. It works both ways. Both people, Father loves charity on both ways. Okay. Charity of the word more than anything. Charity of agape and the gospel. But food is important, guys. And I think we are what we eat. We forget about that. That remember, it used to be if you can't eat it or if you can't read it, don't eat it. I mean, what we eat now is poison. I mean, it is poison. We eat food flavored box can and bagged poison. The fruit all is the same size. Grandma used to have that up on the table. Is that waxed or plastic fruit sprayed with bugs? And why are they all the same shape? Remember those little resin marbles or whatever, the grapes or whatever? The fruit looks just like what was on Grandma's table, and now we eat it. And it's how many polymers are away some of this stuff, Velveeta and some of these things, Crisco and all this stuff we push on us. So there's nothing wrong with being organic, brothers and sisters, but it's hard. It's not easy to come across. You need to have a good mindset, and when you do, and you can focus, you get a few people, you can create or an organic abundance. You truly can. You can not just survive but thrive. So appreciate it. Again, guys, some of the best things I've learned ever has been through some of the comment sections and video logs, things just like things I'm doing now, or others they're putting out different articles or stuff. Because in these comment sections, I find links and I find something that they weren't even talking about. I'm like, that's brilliant. How did the person that was putting out not think it? Because it's the comment section sometimes where the gems are at. I'm not saying you don't learn. Okay, I'm an information hound. I love learning every day. I want to learn. So, uh, yeah, if you got ways to help people, this is an avenue for you to just come blare out good information, man. As long as you're talking about preparedness, not freaking out. Oh my God, prepper stuff. Hey, just whatever. You're always welcome to come in here, contribute to the comment section, because I'm just one dude of 22,000, and it is a shadow man chat. We throw 22,000 people out here sometimes in a week. We have. So we're changing it up. We're giving the wrenches out so we can start wrenching out the, hey, you want to see my Negro and all this drug pushing talk and all that, no, we're hippies, right? Whatever, some earlier. We use medicinal organic remedies when we can. I'm not saying people don't need to go to the doctor, but you know, just keep coming back when you have time. The tithe that we put in here that is required that I ask is just whenever you have time. Don't ever feel obligated. If I talk about money or bring up a link or something's going on with me financially, Father, I have all of this land paid off. I really don't want to even own anything. I'm just trying to build more to the ministry and go travel on the road and eat all the food from all over, meet everybody. I want to go see the whole world before I die. If I don't, I can't even leave the U.S. I'm going to stay here and try as hard as I can to help people around me in this community. And so try that if you can too. Remember, don't try to help people that don't want to help themselves. I mean, show them to the narrow way, but there are people in your local area that want help, brothers, sisters. And you can. Don't forget, is sometimes, and I don't know how you're going to find them through networking, but I just gave you one area that you can look through some of these social people, and there are really people who are homesteading off grid. Maybe they're agrarian or something. They've got channel botany, gardening channels, all these where you can get your skill set up. There's no reason you got to just sit there and I can't do this. I can't. Yes, you can. You don't need anything. Remember, you need a skill set before you start trying to grab up a bunch of possessions. Water filter is going to be really important, though. If you don't and have not done preparedness yet and you're just getting into this, it doesn't matter how you start. Please go get yourself a water filter. Life Straw or the Sawyer Minis, the ones that I have found to use. These are the ones. There's others, but that's going to be important. But it's just you can go weeks and weeks. You can only, most people are going to make it. You can go longer than 3 days, okay, without water. You can, but most people won't make it a day or two. Brothers, sisters, they'll lose. Honey, where's my Red Bull? They're going to freak out because they're sugar fied and they're near, you know, diabetic. All of them are just, when their blood sugar starts spiking and they ain't been, like, I'm telling you, they're going to be hard to deal with. Okay. Um, Outstanding. Good stuff, Fox. Appreciate your good comments. Like I said, I was single parent stuff. You got to take it. I hope you have water filters for all your kids. Please make sure each one of them have a water filter. Okay. Please make sure every one of them independently. Because again, you can go a long time without food, but thirsty kids, Look, it goes real quick. If you've never, they used to say, thanks for coming in, Brother Ross, getting ready to shut this one down. They used to say, even Brother Jim teaches this, people used to think with their stomach, brother or sister. Remember when you got up in the morning and you didn't have a job and a call and you just had food? You had one thing on your mind. I got to get food before the end of the day and find some place to cover my head before that cold comes and almost kills me. And I'll get up in the morning and I'll worship the sun again because that sun grows my food and it's the bringer of the food. Well, okay, but anyways, so my point is again that you want to get it to where you're not dependent on this system again, as I told you, where you can even just go out into the woods and not try to hurt somebody else, because after about 4 or 5 hours, most people are going to lose their minds. It doesn't seem like most people never got a whole day, and it's like when you're thirsty, or it's like honestly, I'm telling you guys, when this water jug is full, I'm not thirsty. But when I feel like I don't have water, I don't have ice, I drink 3 times as much. That's just the way the mindset works. So people are going to stop thinking with their heads. And because people used to use their gut and go out and think with their gut, they used to say that. So people are going to lose their minds really quick. They go about 4 or 5 or 6 hours from hungry to angry. And after about 8 hours, they're going to get us what is called hangry. And that means they've lost their head, brothers, sisters. And I know that it'll still be attached on their body. Okay. And that's why we're supposed to put Father at the top of our house. And and I'm not saying given any medical, you would already fasted a little bit. You would have supped without, and you would have gone without the world too. So this had already been something you had already been doing, not giving any, but you see what I'm saying? People are going to lose their minds. Although their head is attached up here, this is what they're going to be thinking with. They won't use this anymore. That's it. That's all they're going to think about, guys. And so if you don't understand what that's going to be like, those are like not going to be easy people. They're going to be hard to sway in any way because they're going to have one thing on their mind. And they're going to look, I know this sounds crazy, but you ever see that cartoon where like they get real hungry and maybe the dog goes up and looks at what's that rooster or whatever. He's that one rooster. He looks at him. He looks like he's a big turkey leg or a chicken leg or something. I'm telling you, that's how people are going to be looking at you, like a chicken leg or something. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. They're going to be hungry and all get out. And look, they could have just went into the woods and eaten their own arm. I don't eat human flesh, but see what I'm saying, guys? With no skill set, this is going to make people react and respond exactly like this. They're just going to, and all until they're, again, motivated by empty mouths waiting at home, growling stomachs. They never, Fox said 4 kids, you know what I'm saying? Imagine 4 kids, they'd never missed a meal in their life. And they're hurting. They never felt that in their life. I get you, Fox, get out there and get his kids some food. He ain't gonna care if you're his neighbor and you went fishing with him every day, every other weekend. You got food and he knows it. So be careful too. That's why you need a communion, brothers, sisters, with people. You can't spell community without you and I. Remember, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. If you don't try, perfect practice prevents piss poor performance. You want lack of prior planning. Doesn't constitute an emergency on my part. So I'm going to have to go through my, what I'm doing. I'm not just going to let somebody come and run this show. It's going to be order out here, even if we do communion, that, and it's better to have and not need than need and not have, right? So you might want to get the things now before the captain puts on the fasten seatbelt sign, puts the military in all 50 states. There is still teepee for your bunghole. They shut off whole sections, brothers, sisters, and called them non-essential goods during the last that we all went through. So try to remember that. Act with humanity. Ask yourself in every situation, what would Christ do? Seriously, put that spiritual, tighten those loose boards in your ship, brothers. You got to have your spiritual mindset before all things. How do you think Christ was 40 days, right? Without water, right? And well, no, he drank water, but without food, right? In the wilderness while being tempted. It was that mindset. Obviously, he couldn't be shook. And you need to have that mindset. You need to have spiritually your mindset before, because if you're spiritually off, you're not going to perform well. I'm telling you, you're going to have a very calm and your demeanor's going to have to have faith, like an undying thrown into a den of Daniel's lion den's faith. I'm not kidding, you guys. That's going to be your best tool above everything we just talked about. If that's wrong, you're not going to perform well. You're just not. I know I'm a veteran. You've got to stay calm. You got to know how to breathe, and you got to have, a real calm demeanor. You can sit there and freak out, make your whole situation worse, get your heart rate. I'm telling you, I think it's going to get so bad, like the movies, like Terminator. If you're scared of those things, they're going to come pick you up. But if you put on the armor of God, like Paul said, and you just no weapon formed against you, we see it. They do it in those movies. When you see it, I don't watch a lot, but in those space movies, like, don't move. If they know your heart rates, they're going to get you. If you're just going along and you're just homesteading, doing the thing, you're just like, oh, here they come. Don't everybody just go along, man. Don't even, they're going to pass right over you, man. But you get all scared and you fear, they're going to feed off of that, brother, sis. You better get calm in your mind. You better get right in your mind. We know what's coming. You should know damn well what's coming. It says in the book, there's no guessing. He didn't speak with marbles in his mouth. I got the script. I've studied these things for 30 plus years. I have no guessing what's coming. I know exactly what's coming. I don't know if it's going to be exactly like that, but a lot of times with this movie stuff, it looks like where it's going to lead. If these Deagle maps end up where they're going to be 200 million Americans are going to disappear in the next 3 months, how's that going to be? I don't know. You tell me. But I know what they put out in their movies and their white papers, and they got all these DARPA robots and Boston Dynamic. Elon Musk got warehouses. I'm sure Trump, all, and they got this new tech system coming in, brothers, sisters. Already released it to you. You just don't see it. What would FFA in 23 release flying cars? There's no flying cars, but I'm saying there is. But I already told you, you're not going to see no flying cars. You ain't never going to be no flying car in your lifetime. Shut up. Maybe the most if you went to a helicopter ride at some fair or something, but you ain't getting in no car and driving and flying around. You're an idiot. So they're not going to allow that in our lifetime. You guys are lost, but they're holding this tech back. They're not going to allow it. So Father's not allowing it, or we'd already killed ourselves, brothers, sisters. Seriously, Father already revealed that to me. It's hard to sit there and think that the Trump family has this tech that we could already, we would have tried to get out of here, brothers, sisters. So we always do try to get out of this firmament, and like we're locked in here, whether you like it or not. So there ain't no getting out of here. So try to remember that too. Better focus on what's right in front of you. We ain't even discovered what's in our damn oceans. We're going to go to Mars, whatever, man. So anyways, love you, brothers, sisters. Thank you for the support of the ministry. Thank you for those 19 thumbs up there. Somebody don't have to always be in agree with me, but it helps others come in and see what we're doing in here. If you can leave a comment after the live stream, that'd be great. You don't have to. We're not getting them as much as we used to, but it just lets people know what we're doing in here. So thanks for being a part of the ministry. Again, it's not some religious channel. I rebuke religions. I don't like religion at all. They don't study the word, but I do study it one word at a time, and I will make sure that when we're talking about that, we define and have definition in the words that we're speaking, because we're not even supposed to change a period or letter or even our own thought. Jot, yod, tittle, pornea, we're not supposed to add or take away. So Old Testament, one sin was death, add a jot, death. So I ain't playing. So I take it seriously, and that's what is my compass. It's what keeps me going. It's my salvation. It's what lifts me and carries me every day, picks me up so I can endure to the end. Try to remember that too. If you want to be saved, you have to die to be saved. You have to have already been dead, risen, and then resurrected to be saved. That's like put money in a bank. So don't fall for these religious. They're just not studying the word. So come back, go see Brother Jim Brown at Grace and Truth Ministries. This is HD, not for the quality what you see here. We're on 2-dimensional or what 2D, 2G television here, but it's for the content of what you hear. Kind of like Martin Luther said, the content of the character. So hopefully you can glean something from the ministry. If you want to support the ministry financially, you don't have to. Just come back. It's not required. There are links in the description. Super chats on. PayPal, CashApp, and I transfer that Bitcoin, guys. That wasn't very hard to do. I got a little thing going on because my bank card got compromised, and I was just a couple bucks short on my CashApp, and I couldn't get it out of the PayPal, but I was able to transfer Bitcoin. Somebody gave that to me years ago from the CashApp over to the CashApp card. Pretty simple. I thought it was going to be much more difficult. So thank you, Father, for making that possible. What a pain in the butt these electronic things are, man. Again, somebody gets into my bank account. How do they do this? How are we the safest nation in the world? We got the greatest military intelligence, the NSA, all that DARPA and all that. But, they're still calling me about my car's extended warranty, and I got people again breaking into my bank account. I don't know, man. You tell me. But anyways, we got to use the tech, like I said, until we can't. So it's not going to be here forever. Please make a plan that one day, if you really look at probably the most two evil things ever created on this rock is the internet and the cell phone. And here I am using both. You must be as esteemed as the potter's clay, brothers and sisters, turn their works upside down, okay? That's what the word tells us. So don't partake in unfruitful works of darkness. I originally made this stream. It was said, come out from my people. And that's what we've been talking about in here tonight, is coming out of the system, not by being violent. Nobody said, hey, we're going to start a mafia. We're going to start some militia with arm. No, we were talking about arming ourselves with like shovels and rakes and hoes and gardening and food and fruit, and be fruitful, not being violent. So bless you, brothers and sisters, for that there are ways to beat this system without violence. We can beat them at their own game. If we just check out of the system, we can create abundance, not just survive hanging by a string, but thriving in this system that's coming, because we're not part of it. We are our own separate system. We became our own supply chain. So appreciate your amazing, I always love that when we pick up good comments and have good viewers in here that come in and view regularly. So they're watching you. Like I said, a lot of people sit on the sidelines. It is a shadow band channel. Some people just come in and be quiet because they don't want to say anything in here. So, but they're gleaning from your guys' comments. I told you the salt of this, ministry is through the comment section. So bless you guys for doing that. And thank you for creating the abundance of what makes High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries what it is. All right. Thanks again. Pastor Revelation, links are in the description if you want to leave a comment, like, subscribe, share any of this content to any platform, and we'll see you again on the next broadcast that we do here in the High Desert. So welcome to Revelation. We made it to that book. If you read it, then you know we're there. We're in those last pages, but it's not the end. It says sorrow, so we're at the beginning of sorrows. And it's not the end, but the beginning. So hold on. It's going to get a lot worse from here, but that doesn't mean we can't thrive, brothers and sisters. Don't just survive. Why survive when you can thrive? Come back to the ministry. We'll show you how it's done. All right. We're living the American dream. Some of us are. Thank you, Serendipity. Thank you, Fox. Thank you, Jeremy was in here earlier. I saw, I don't know who else is in earlier, but I know I saw Jeremy Ross came in and dropped some comments for us. Thanks for adding to this ministry. Okay. We're supposed to reproof the word, add to your faith. It's in the book of Timothy. Thanks for helping out, brothers and sisters. We'll see you again on the next live stream. Go see Jim Brown at Grace and Truth Ministries for the true gospel. You want the gospel. I wouldn't be focused on anything else right now, but your homestead and the gospel. Leave everything else alone for right now. You'll be able to help others very soon, brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? You will. If you've ever wanted to help people, that time is coming, brother and sister. Don't think that it's not. Father, remember that extra bread and extra fish. He has a way of doing things. He knows he's perfect. His time is just absolutely perfect. So don't forget that, maybe we won't feed the foolish virgins this time, but it was all flesh. Maybe we will. All right, Pastor Revelation. Thanks, Elsa, for coming in. Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.